Hey everybody, what's going on? This is me, Chase. This is No Chaser TV, and we are ready for the review. Yes, the review of all reviews, because this season has led up to this so far. With me, I have my special guest hosts, and I'm so glad to have them here. Hey Cortez, yes,
Hey, I was like, is it me? Hey.
the
Thanks
head
for
leading
having
the
me back
charge. I know
today,
that's right.
child.
What's
Huh?
going on?
I'm doing good. It's Monday. It's Monday.
Yes.
I'm ready to talk about this show.
Mm.
Atlanta is on fire as Miami used to be.
Oh, Miami's hot fire. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm
Thank
gonna go ahead and let her up because we're so glad to have her back. Hey there, Jody.
Hey y'all, Wagwan.
you.
Yes.
Fabulous Monday.
Jody, this is Cortez. Cortez, this is Jody.
Hey
Nice to
How
meet
Cortez.
each
you
other.
doing, Jody?
I'm
Yes.
down here in Duval.
Do the dirty deed, do the
Oh,
bang on. Okay, yes, the Duval County girl.
I used to talk
Yes.
to a guy from Duval, so I know.
Oh Lord, here we go. With that being said, make sure you
Reveal
guys go
yourself,
ahead
sir.
and like. You say what, Jody? I'm sorry.
And I was saying, whoever he is, reveal yourself.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
okay. Well,
We'll
don't come
talk
out.
later. We're gonna talk
We'll
later,
No,
Jody.
no,
We're gonna talk. How you doing? With that being said, make sure that you guys like, comment, turn on the notification bells. Once you subscribe to this channel, and we got a lot to talk about. We want to hear what you guys have to say over there in the lounge. Thank you guys so much over on X. Hey, Ashley and Mocha Barbie, how you been? Over on X, over on YouTube, as well as Facebook. Thank you guys for all of your support throughout the whole duration and incarnation of No Chaser TV. We appreciate it, but we got a lot to talk about. We want to get these things out of the way so we can
Okay.
go ahead and talk about what we came here to talk about, the meat and potatoes of the episode. So let's go ahead and get started because Shamia and Angela meet. Now, I do want to bring this up very briefly because everybody thought I was tripping and told me, Chase, you putting team too much on it. You got too much sauce on this. But the flashback shows where Shamia did apologize to Angela for coming for her physical appearance. And Angela
Mhm.
says, I apologize. Likewise, I apologize for the same thing. Now, the only thing that Angela said to her was that she looked like Flavor Flav that we saw. And so when I was saying, well, is that like a color dig? Because, they've said Shamia was black with a Q and all that without a Q or whatever it was back in the day. And everybody thought I was like putting too much on it and saying that she was Flavor Flav because she was saying that she was Flavor Flav because she's Portia's number one hype man. But where I come from, not even where I come from, just in general, when a lighter person tells you you look like somebody darker that's ugly as fuck, 9 times out of 10, it's like, wait a minute, what are you trying? No, oh, I'm sorry, Flavor Flav. No, Tina, I'm sorry. Let me reel that back in. Not that Flavor Flav is ugly as fuck, excuse me, but when you call someone, God, that was bad. When you call someone Flavor Flav that looks like Shamia, it just doesn't add up to me. So I thought I didn't want to say it was colorist, but I just thought it was off. And I was like, I got my own Angela. She's older. That kind of aligns to me with an older read. Just very quickly, I feel like I'm the only person who took it that way. But now that she says that she apologizes for the same thing, did that cross anyone else's mind, or what does anybody think about it? Go ahead and give it to me first, Cortez. What you think?
I could see where that could be gotten from that, but I think if she hadn't been in a costume as Flavor Flav, within whenever the time frame it was,
Hmm.
I don't. From what I'm seeing of Angela, honestly, I find Angela to be kind of a sincere person. So I don't think it came from a colorism, you ugly and black type way. I didn't get that. I mean, I initially yes, but as I've gotten to know her, seeing the backstory with Flavor Flav, I do. If you just kind of look at it, I don't think she looked like Flavor Flav, but I can see where somebody could say that. And also with the hype man, so I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, personally.
Okay, I'm all right with that. Jody, you good or you know? Give me. We
I'm
can.
good. I don't know what's
Okay,
going on with the song. It's because it's on the charge. But
it's all
I
right.
would say when I first heard it, I didn't get the correlation. I was like, out of all things, you calling her Flavor Flav,
Yeah.
and I know hip hop, but it still was like Flavor Flav because it felt like you were talking about her appearance, her looks, not necessarily the hype man. So she did have to explain that part to me. I didn't associate it to colorism. I didn't. It just I felt like you was trying to call her ugly and old. Wasn't that what she said? She was trying to call a throwback. And then they did the throwback clips of where she did dress as Flavor Flav. So I was like, okay, maybe she's seen that and remember that. But then also she was on Watch What Happens Live, and she tried to be like, oh, Flavor's a friend of the family's, da da da. So again, what was the whole angle? So I think she was just talking about her appearance overall. Maybe calling her old and dated, and maybe she could have said it a different way. Angela, I will give her credit though, because when Shamia said what she said, she was quick on her feet, and they was, going back and forth. And I actually enjoyed that read that they was giving each other.
Okay. I'm gonna let her slide. Oh, I don't like to let nobody slide with nothing, but everybody keep telling me, Chase, calm down. So I'm gonna let it go. I do love the read off. I actually think that Angela is a top tier real housewife. It just was like, okay. She's almost in her 60s. So women of that age, that's kind of like the reads that they give, like, and what it meant back then means something completely different now. So I'm gonna let it go.
I didn't know she was that old.
Me
Well,
either. She
well,
looks amazing.
seasoned. I didn't know she was that seasoned.
Yeah.
Yes,
So we
seasoned.
all
Yeah.
aspire to get older. I didn't know she was that seasoned.
Right. Yeah, she looks amazing in my opinion. Hey, Amanda K. Hey, Shakira Marie. Shakira says exactly. She was being nasty. Ooh, we thank you over there down to the Facebook in the lounge. We appreciate y'all for doing your big one and supporting us. So then Brit comes over. The girls let her know that she was out of line for what she said to Kenya at the Bankhead dinner. And we don't have to worry about Angela hosting any more dinners in Bankhead because some people Bankhead bounced her ass right at that restaurant and let her have it after the way that Brit showed out down to the thing. Now from there, let me roll up because I'm all the way down to the end of the episode where I really want to be. From there, um, Shamia says that Kenya was cutting Brit off, and Angela admits to writing the question that Brit actually pulled. So Angela is also messy, which we love as a housewife, by the way. Brit says that means that Angela agrees with how Brit feels since she wrote the question, and Angela says, I understand where you're coming from, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with how you feel, which a lot of people seem to get twisted for some reason. Britt says that she is a sweet, nice girl and hates that everyone got to see that side of her because she was not trying to intimidate Kenya at all. Shamia asked Angela, did she ask Charles about the rumor that Porsha put out? And Angela said, Charles is a celebrity, so she's used to those rumors, but she would appreciate it if nobody mentioned Charles and keep his name out of their mouth. And Britt says, in the same meeting that she's apologizing to the ladies for acting out of character, Britt then says, if anybody was to mention my husband, I'd beat their ass. Anyone, Jody.
First of all, I still feel like that man is her assistant. He's not giving, that's my husband. And I'm trying to figure out why she holding on to this. He's my husband. He's my husband. But I like, you ain't got nothing else going for yourself. Even the interaction she had with her sister last week and talking about her husband made me, so far, I don't really care for the husband. Not hers anyways. It's something up about him. We ain't figured it out yet, but I feel like we gonna figure it out eventually.
Cortez.
The one thing I got from this scene, I feel like in this scene, Brit felt like she was like a boss, like a bad bitch, because I feel like for her to say that she didn't mean to or want to intimidate Kenya, I'm like, you have to know that I don't think Kenya was really intimidated. I don't even think she really was scared. It just may have caught her, everyone off guard because, we're on Housewives and you're talking about guns. So that's one thing. But I feel like, I don't think that this scene was a serious scene for her. Like they wanted us to see that she was taking accountability, but I don't think she really was, because even in this moment, I don't think she really understood how crazy she looked. Like if you remove the gun threat, just the whole thing from the question and just how, I think Angela said, well, she don't like being cut off. I'm like, I don't really think Kenya cut her off. I don't really, it was just the question there was two questions back to back addressed to Kenya. She answered the first one. The second one, she answered it. And from my understanding, Brit did not like the way that it was answered. And so she wanted whatever answer she wanted from Kenya. When she didn't get it, that's when she flew off the rail. So I did not really understand. But yes, I agree. I think Brit was just playing for the camera because she honestly behind that little, oh my God, I'm taking accountability. I feel like she felt like, oh, I did that. I think she felt really big and bossy about it. I really did. And so I didn't really like this scene. But what I will say, I do like um Angela and Shamia are like becoming my two faves to watch because of anybody on this show, and I'm talking about everybody, Porsche included. They are the only two that give me housewives. Like they seem to have the formula so great, so good, for them to be newbies in terms of like full time housewives. So yeah, and I don't really like Jody. I don't really like Charles either. He's so
It's something. I don't know
he's just
what it
not.
is.
He don't really seem like he even really like her. Like
She seemed like she annoy him. They have somewhat of like a father daughter dynamic a little bit because it seems as if she got to check with her husband for everything. I'm not caring for Brit Edie. I'm starting to like Kelly. At first, I didn't care for her,
yeah,
but I'm starting to like her. But
Okay, wait, which
Brit,
are we talking about? We talking about Charles? Are we talking about Mike?
I'm talking about
Mike.
Charles.
Well,
Okay,
no.
Oh, you talking about Mike?
Okay. Okay, I
I
don't care
don't.
for Charles
So let me be
either.
clear. I don't
I don't
like
care for
either
neither
one of
one
them
of them.
husbands.
I
I don't
don't
like
care
okay.
either.
for neither one of them.
I don't like
I
either
don't care
one.
for neither one of them. Charles give me old and stubborn, didn't really want to be on the show. I'm on it because my wife is on it, and here I am, and he seems grumpy. The other husband, Mike, seems controlling. He seems like him and Britt have this. I don't like their dynamic. He might be the one holding the bag, and maybe that's why she act that way when it comes to him. I don't know, but this apology tour that she doing, it does give me that she is trying to get ahead of everything. Like she doing her own PR, trying to clean it up. So I didn't really care for the interaction of saying, oh, because I'm still trying to figure out what made her go to that extent of my guns and my whips, and it's
Because
housewives.
that's the extent that she has. Like that's her capacity, that's her level, that's what she goes to. She doesn't go to the reads, and Kenya served it up. She had on green in the all black dinner. That's a
Because she is
read.
a moment.
She had the moment, like she gave her opportunities to give her a peasant, and the first thing she went to was like her chains and guns and whips and all of that stuff when she had plenty of opportunities to read back if she could. I'm gonna call bullshit on this whole apology tour. I'm calling bullshit right now on everything that we're gonna see about her being hurt and all of these things in the actual sit down that we're referring to at the beginning of the episode. As you said, Cortez, you didn't feel like she took it serious, and I'm going to agree with you because she was laughing when she was like, "Oh no," and she was like laughing and stuff like that. I don't know if that was a nervous laughter, but it's just not a good look. We're getting to know you, and the only thing that we've seen is a whole bunch of stuff that makes absolutely no sense. Like it makes no sense. I'm not here for it. I don't ever write off a girl this early into the season, but coupled from what we've seen at the beginning of the season, I don't know what we're going to get in the middle of the season. But what we know, as has been told by Shamia and Kelly from the end of the season, I'm not really living for her, and we'll get into why a little further. But I'm just not here for the, like Jody said, the apology tour. It can miss me. It can skip me. As far as Charles is concerned, I'm gonna hold on to what I got to say about him. But Mike, I don't even have a read on him. Like we've seen so little of them that I can't even get a full grasp on what I think about them because it has not made any sense to me. Number one, and number two, we haven't gotten a lot of them. But I did think it was highly tacky for him to continuously call his wife while she's filming a reality television show.
Yes.
So she's not in the streets; she's at work with her actual sister. I thought that was tacky, and I just felt like something about this is just really, really weird. So as we move on from there, Kenya, Porsha, and Kelly meet up at Kenya's spa, and Porsha says a squabble at the table can be walked back. However, the alleged comments about the pistol is alleged to them at this point because they didn't really hear it, but Kenya was
Mhm.
in earshot of Kelly and Britt when Britt was going off about her pistols and things like that. Needs to be investigated, and they need to get to the bottom of it. Kenya says that at this point it feels like people are trying to gaslight her because she knows what she heard. Kelly says that that's not the Brit that she knows. That is just not her character. And so she doesn't believe that Brit actually said those comments, even though we all saw her standing immediately next to her And they were talking about the pistols. They were talking about security. They were talking about the husband. Let's not talk about the husband. They were talking about the husband. So Kelly, I get that she's just being a good friend to Brit and trying to like minimize the situation, but you don't do anyone any favors, especially a Kenya Moore a favor by lying about the situation. Own it and then just try to fix it, but don't lie about it, which is what I feel like Kelly was doing. Kenya shuts Kelly down and says that she's going to run a background check of her own. Angela, right? Angela meets with her daughter Amari. She says that her mom backed out of meeting with them to hash things out in the last minute, and her daughter Amari says that she asked to use her grandmother's car, and the request blew up from there into an altercation or something of the sort. Her aunt then got in her face and started yelling at her as well. And Angela had no idea about this, which it seems like she has absolutely no idea when it comes to Amari about anything. Amari immediately says that she should not take care. That her mom should no longer take care of her mother as well as her sister financially because of the blow up. And Angela says it's not that cut and dry. Angela's mom was diagnosed with bipolar and says that she is self-proclaiming to be healed, but that may or may not be true. Angela's daughter got married without her mom's knowledge. And had been married for 4 months when it was revealed that her mom was the one who told Angela about, Amari getting married behind her back. And so, Amari then starts to become overwhelmed with emotions and says it's not gang up on Amari Day, begins to cry and say it's too much. From there, Brit and Porsha meet up, and Brit says she took it too far and hopes Kenya can accept her apology. Porsha says that she was surprised to hear that there was even a beef between Brit and Kenya, and I would believe Porsha on this instance because Brit told everyone but Porsha and Kenya that she had a problem with Kenya. Brit says she thought they were cool, but Kenya, when she gets around the group, wants to put on a little bit and put on airs like she's better than her and have the voice and her tone about her wedding band. And Portia says everyone says that Kenya was not being shady to you about your wedding band. And from there, Portia says that Brit says that, she felt like she was being hazed and targeted by Kenya. Hazed and targeted by Kenya. Portia says Brit having preconceived notions would come from Brit seeing Kenya in action with other people who she doesn't like. And Brit says exactly. And who has she seen Kenya in action that she doesn't like this season is Portia's question. From there, she says Brit was ready to fight with Kenya, and Kenya didn't give a damn, and that threw Brit off guard. Portia asked Brit about the pistol, and Brit says that she was triggered by Kenya and being in environments that she is never in, was just all new to her, and that's why she said that she had pistols and whips for Kenya. Brit says that she takes full accountability, and it looks bad. At no moment was she going to actually hurt Kenya, but she will apologize. Portia does say that everyone does deserve to be heard, and Brit says Brit says that she will stand outside with a flag saying that she was actually wrong. And we're going to go ahead and stop it there. So we talked about Kenya, Kelly, and Portia scene. We talked about Angela and Amari scene, and we talked about Brit and Portia scene. Cortez, go ahead and give me your thoughts on all three of those scenes first. We're just trying to bunch it up like this, guys. Normally, I like to do breakdown, like scene by
Oh,
scene
you
breakdown.
good.
I understand.
For the viewers and the listeners of No Chaser TV, the podcast with Chase Brown, because we really want to get to the big meat and potatoes because there's a lot to discuss and so many layers on that. Cortez, tell me what you thought about those three scenes, please.
I don't know why Kelly was being willfully obtuse about the situation. She was right there. I don't know why. I get it. You want to be there for your friend, but I said even last week it seemed a bit off because after all this happened, we saw videos of Brit and Kelly, joking and laughing about the matter after it all happened last year, right? And it seemed I would have never thought from the videos I saw last year when Brit and Kelly were together, kind of taunting the whole situation about Kenya, that Kelly was actually supporting Kenya in the way that she is. Kelly kind of seems like she wants to get to know Kenya. I don't know how true and how authentic it is, but it does seem like it on the camera. But I don't know why she's doing that. But I knew that, the way Kenya's tone, we have seen Kenya do a lot of things. So I was like kind of worried for that girl. Let's say I didn't know about what happened and I saw that scene, I would be like, oh shit, she's been do something. I don't know what. Because we know Kenya. As far as Angela, first of all, Amari said that her mom needs to cut the mother and the sister off. No, she needs to cut her off. Amari is the child that, their parent thinks they can do no wrong. When clearly this girl has she coming to her mom because somebody wouldn't let her use the car. She coming to her in the same conversation by saying, you should just be okay that I didn't tell you I got married, and then makes herself a victim, not even trying to empathize with her mom for understanding why she is upset that she didn't ran away and got not ran away. She didn't got married. It was just crazy. It was a good scene, right? And I felt for Angela in this moment. I do think there are some missing pieces, but I think Angela needs to cut all of them off. Amari, grandmother, and sister, cut them all off and figure out what's going on with Charles.
I
Because
want to cut Charles off too.
that and cut Charles off too. It's just crazy. But Amari is problematic. I don't know. That is not. She does not seem like an honest, good, grown child. I don't know. I just wouldn't trust it. The conversation with Porsha and Brit, I thought was really good. I was glad to see Porsha have Kenya's back because we all know that Kenya has been on the receiving end. I mean, not Kenya. Porsha has been on the receiving end of a lot of Kenya's tactics, physically, mentally. I mean, we know where they've been, right? So I think it said a lot for Porsha to be like, I don't think that's happening to you, girl. Like, you were wrong. Like, why would you? She even, when she put it into perspective about how she got into it with Drew, and then she was like, well, say we got off the elevator and I said, I'm going to get my gun. Who you think I'm talking about? Like, because Brit was trying to act like she didn't understand. She was trying to act like what her comment about a weapon was not targeted towards anybody, but you just had a whole conversation. You're upset about, towards somebody. So who do you think it's about? I thought it was a good scene. I'm glad that Porsha was very honest with Brit, because it's like she was kind of holding her accountable, and I really like that. I think that was like the most OG move Porsha has done since being back, and I really enjoyed it. So that's my thoughts. But Brit is full of shit in that scene. She's been full of shit the whole episode. But yeah.
All right, Jody.
So, what I like about Angela so far is that we're actually getting a backstory with her. It's not like she's piggybacking off of the other housewives. She's showing you what she's doing, what she's bringing to the table, and then she's allowing us to see intimate parts of her life for real. Now, the scene with her daughter as a mom with an adult child, it did get on my nerves. Her daughter gives me very entitled.
Mm-hmm.
She, to me, even when your kids becoming adults, you're still the parent, but you have to establish boundaries if they already wasn't there before, right? The dynamic does change a bit, and I felt like she should have let her daughter know right then and there, regardless of you being the adult, being an adult at this point in life. This is my mother. I hear you. I understand what you're saying, but you do not get to make a decision as far as who I choose to support. Because from what she's saying, it sounds like she either still supporting you, or it wasn't that long ago that she was supporting her adult daughter, which should be a blessing, or consider that at the least. But her daughter gives me very much entitled.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost as if she wasn't receiving anything that her mom was saying. I can understand you eloping, do your thing, but for me not to find out till 4 months later, and the person that you're telling me don't support is the one you told, something is going on in this family right now, and maybe Angela needs to get to the bottom of it, and maybe it is cutting everyone off. I know that probably would be a hard thing for her mom's mental health, because as somebody who has a family member with that's bipolar schizophrenic, it's very hard to establish certain boundaries. And that self-proclaimed healed is, it's a battle. That's a constant up and down situation dealing with that. But yeah, her daughter, she kind of got on my nerves a little bit. Too entitled for my liking. As a grown adult who went and got married and didn't want me to know. Pump your brakes. Um, as far as Porsha and Brit having that conversation, I do like the fact that Porsha is taking the OG role basically grabbing her hand and saying, hey, baby, let's have a conversation. I want you to see how the rest of us see it because we don't see it how you see it. And Brittany cannot explain to me from what us as the viewers have been able to see. It's as if you've been wanting a problem with Porsha, not Porsha, Kenya. It feels as if you watched the show and probably told yourself, I'm gonna get on here and Porsha. I mean, I don't know why I keep calling her Porsha.
I'm just
Kenya is on here. Yeah, Kenya is on here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attack the big dog. Maybe she feels as if this is a way of putting her stamp on the show. Everybody gonna want to see her back because she has a feud with Kenya. I don't know, but it's not a good look because the first episode I didn't see where Kenya was out of line. She asked a legit question about your ring because I would have asked that as well because if you are married or been married, it's the engagement band and the wedding band. To me, it looked like you just had on an engagement ring. So I would have asked that as well. You were sitting there waiting for her to hug you. She did come over there and speak, and it seems like that wasn't enough. The next encounter y'all have, you point out that the girl gave you a church hug or didn't hug you and hugged everybody else. It's like every time you see Kenya, you can't wait to speak or basically let her know you didn't bow down to me. So, of course, I got an issue with you. Even when they were at the table, you kept antagonizing Kenya, which was crazy because Kenya is known for being the one that can antagonize someone else. But she was paying you dust and you kept going. And then to be talking about a gun, like I'm in my head, like I've never been on the scene, but I'm imagining all these producers, all these cameras, like you don't see them recording you, like y'all not in the streets. And then she tried to say something like, oh, we were in Bankhead or whatever. You have a whole production team with you. You have other ladies that are here that have things to lose. They driving Bentleys and stuff up here. Like, you talking about weapons for this? Yeah, you out of line. I don't care for her, miss. I talk like this.
I hate the way she talk and them teeth. And
What is it? Is
I
it
hate
the mouth? Because it's like when I seen older videos of her, and she does the same. It's this.
she's Brit. What's that video, Chase? I'm Brit.
Brit,
The
eat it.
BCO roll them.
What is it? I'm Brit.
I'm,
Eat
eat
Yeah,
it. I'm trying to do the mouth. Is my mouth
oh, I
okay?
don't know if this is a good taste that we play this tonight, but we're
it.
gonna
Maybe
retry
Brit,
not.
that tonight. Fuck it. Roll it, WBCO.
eat it.
If you know how to roll it. If you don't, I'll roll it, damn it. Move out the way.
Yeah, because we want to see.
You're here with great eating.
That's what
Is
Kenya
her
should have put
teeth
on that
so good?
poster.
Correct. She
Oh,
should have
Kenya.
did nothing, but
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, my God. Yeah, you guys, everything that you guys are saying is how I'm feeling so far about everything. Britt, Kelly, and Portia. Kelly was lying. I get why she was lying, but like I said earlier, you can't lie in a situation like this. Keep your mouth shut if you don't want to say nothing. If the girls ask you, yeah, I heard her say that. That's not like her. I don't know what's going on with her. Maybe you guys should talk. Maybe I can sit down and be in the middle. Something. That's how you do it. But it's that girl first season. I still like Kelly. Y'all not gonna make me hate her. But Kelly,
I
come on now
like
with all
her
the lying
now.
now.
I
Huh?
like her. I'm
I
liking
like her
her
too.
now. First
Kelly.
I like
episode,
Kelly.
I didn't care for her.
I
I
like
did
Kelly.
not. But
Listen,
now
every
I'm like,
housewife gonna lie a little bit, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
And I know
I,
why she did it. She lied
I,
from a place of goodness.
I feel like she is in a space where she was trying to be a friend, but also I'm getting to know everybody. I want to have a good stamp. But the same energy she had when she asked Portia on the first episode, well, asked Shamia about Portia, it should have been somewhat the same energy in this situation. Just tell the truth, shame the devil, and go from there. Because
Yeah.
but you know what though, when you play it back, even in that scene, she was trying to keep it cute. She was doing one of those when what's name was like, oh, the gun, my guns and my whips. And she was like, oh, your
She's
husband.
like, girl, no, girl, keep doing that.
So I think she
Lord.
was trying to play it off too, because it probably was an uncomfortable, awkward situation for her as well.
Okay, you got it together back there, the BCO. All right. Anyway,
Y'all can see
hold
me
on.
better now.
What the BCO got going on? Cortez.
He was trying to roll that clip, probably.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, all
He's
right.
trying to roll the clip.
So with that being said, yes, that's how I felt about Kelly. I didn't like that she was yelling in the situation. Not yelling, but lying in the situation. You
Mhm.
could tell there in that scene that Kenya was 38 hot, and I don't know how. I'm glad Portia later, reads the room accurately. Because like I don't know how Kelly was sitting there and thinking everything was going to be fine. Kenya was hot in that scene, and was like letting Kelly know you don't want none of this, so you may want to back the hell up.
Right.
From there, Amari's entitled. Amari's not telling the full truth. We've already deduced that if she kept it away from her mother, she kept it away for a reason. Number one. Number two, I do think that what Amanda K said was true. She does have a sense of entitlement. And that, because it feels like, I don't know, but it feels like she feels like she's entitled to drive the car whenever she wants to as well, because my
Correct.
mom bought it. You didn't even buy it. My mom bought it. And I would say, who did she buy it for? Because if
Correct.
your mom could buy me a car, odds are she could buy who a car? You. So
You.
she buy me a car and she chose to do so. Why she didn't buy you one? Not even why didn't she buy you one? Wait till she buy you one. Because if I say no, no means no. Go ask your husband you had and stop playing with me. And that's
That
why they
part.
probably got into that fight. Now see what she's trying to do is play on the fact that her grandmother has bipolar, which is also low, because you're trying to say the lady crazy. That lady ain't crazy. If she told you no, you can't drive the car. No, you can't drive the damn car. And what the answer is, I said so. So stop playing Amari, okay? And then when the people tried to get Amari together, is it gang up on Amari Day? No,
Oh,
grandma, my
I
feelings
was
are hurt.
like,
I'm telling you,
and
my
then
feelings are hurt
Angela
because you're my daughter
crying,
and you got
and
married. You didn't tell me, and that is a natural feeling. Now, what her mom has to realize is ultimately at the end of the day, no, just because she's staying in the house that you know, you own or whatever, and she's bullying people out of their cars and stuff like that. She does not owe you that part of her life, but Amari does have to recognize that her mom will be hurt and not try to make that into someone ganging up on them from expressing their feelings. Your mom is it seems like one of her biggest supporters. So if that's the
Mhm.
case, she is definitely going to be hurt and robbed from a moment like that. And Amari's just going to have to stop trying to cut the crap and cut the bullshit. I don't even think that was
Mhm.
edited. Sometimes it's like, well, this doesn't make sense. This feels edited. I don't even think it was that. Amari full of that bullshit. Now, the last
Victim in the villain at the same time, as Beyonce said.
whole lot of um Porsha and Brit. Porsche was on Brit ass. It makes absolutely no sense. Oh, there was a point that Cortez said that was really good. I want to retro back to the first scene. Yes, because Kelly and Britt were drunk at. Well, I don't know if they were drunk, but they was. We don't want to. We don't want to do the show. I don't want to do the show. And I think that what we see is someone wanting to film the show and get to know these ladies, but also try to figure out how to maintain her loyalty to the friend that she had pre-existing to the group. And I think that's an interesting dynamic. And to try to see someone navigate it, it's fun to watch because it's refreshing. So I'm going to go ahead and keep holding out on Kelly for right now. Now, to the final scene, it was interesting to see Portia hold someone accountable in defense of Kenya. And like she's,
Right.
I think that what Portia inadvertently did was expose Britt for being the fan that you guys say she is, because she says that the only way you could have come to that preconceived notion is had you seen Britt get into it with somebody who she doesn't like. Now, the only way you could have saw that, because she hasn't done that this season, is if you watch prior episodes, which she's
Right. Kenya did that.
that she had
Mhm.
a preconceived notion. So anything that Kenya said to her, as you said, she was going to take it the wrong way. She didn't get the hood. Then when she got the hood wasn't tight enough. Then all of these things, like, girl,
Like, sit
focus
down.
on that husband, them teeth falling out their mouth, and blow their nose, and let's come on and
Is
keep
that why
moving
her mouth
forward,
like
because
that?
she doing team too much and it's pissing me off. We
It's
got
giving high school, and it's annoying.
yeah, it's very annoying. We got people in the room, so make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's make the likes match. Hey, everybody over on
Mhm. And share
Facebook,
this.
everybody on Facebook and X, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Amanda K, for the super chat. We really do appreciate it. And don't be afraid to send your super chats just like she did as well. Okay. With that being said, we go ahead and move on with the rest of the show. As excuse me, let me pull up where I was at. As we're back with Angela, and Angela tells Charles about Portia having tea on him. Charles says Portia better Google him and Google him twice, because he ain't the
Ooh,
one to play with.
ooh.
And tells Angela to handle it. Now Angela grabs a piece of chicken, and Charles tells her she needs to go wash her hands. The flashback shows that she did indeed wash her hands. As they have a tense conversation, Angela then mentions to Charles the situation with her mother and her and her sister. And Charles says, I don't know what you're telling me for. And Angela says, because you're my husband. And he says, listen, don't bring family issues to me. I don't care. I got my own issues and I don't get into family issues, and say that for somebody else. Now, I know that you guys said that you felt like Charles did not want to film that show. I just think he's a nasty human being. And
Yeah.
like I said, you love him for who he is or you leave him for who he is. And I honestly think, and I hate to degrade, not to degrade, but to relegate Angela to this, but I feel like she chasing behind her man and need to be figured out what's going on with that family. As a matter of fact, she just need to put herself first in all of this, because if she did, she probably wouldn't be with his ass, especially if she's self-made. And number two, she wouldn't give a damn who arguing over the car and who not arguing over the car. Because if anybody want their own car, they go down to the car dealership and sign for their own. Jody, what did you think about? Well, let me see before I do that. Let me see. Okay, yes. What did you think about that scene before we move on to the Kenya Moore hair spa event?
That husband gets on my nerves. He's grumpy. He gets every moment the camera pans on him. If he can say something out of line or just show his distaste for being there, he's gonna do it. And that whole I don't want to talk about family and all that. I got my own. Hello, you're married. This is your family. And the only thing I can think of when Porsha said she got tea on him is probably the alleged baby that he has. Because if y'all remember, was it last week or the week before last? She was like, "This is our child together. This is Charles Jr. This is da 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 da." So it sounds like the only tea that Porsha probably knows is about the baby that he had. Sounds like when they were newly married, around the time he was saying he was having issues at the at Square Garden, you know, in New York. So that's the only thing I can think of. But I don't really care for him. He gives me old and just grumpy, and yeah, maybe she wanted the whole family, because a lot of women do that. We will stay because we want the family dynamic. Because other than that, he is very unpleasant. I don't all that Charles Oakley, even if he did have a grandiose name that he should live up to, his personality is giving me I want to be around you. You just miserable as hell. Um, who else we was talking about? Because I can go on and on and on and on and on about her husband, who I don't care for. Who else we was talking about, Chase?
That was it.
No, that was it
Okay.
actually, because you got to
Okay,
get to
because
the scene.
listen, y'all see I'm about to get started about this man that I don't know, talking about Googling him. You seem outdated. When she called what's name Flavor Flav, she might have should have been talking about her husband, because he is very much
A throwback.
that nobody
Cortez.
won't.
I don't have anything really to add. I don't think it's that he doesn't want to be on camera. I think I just don't like his aura. His aura is just not like we're getting to know Angela, and I feel like one thing that I learned this on Salt Lake City, when I'm getting to know someone, and they're on the show, we're getting to know her, but we're also getting to know him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like when you come on these shows, like as a relationship, you know, marriage or whatever, like you need to, even if it ain't real, put on fake the
Keep
funk.
it cute.
Like don't come
Keep it
on
cute.
camera making your spouse look crazy. You know, every scene we've seen him, it just seems like he's like her father. I don't know. Like I don't get any type of love connection from them. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because obviously whatever, but that's just how I feel. And I believe that, you know, the reason why he does not care about the family is because of the rumors about the mother getting involved and stuff like that. Whether it's true or not, I think that's why he doesn't care about it. Which, I mean, it should be a surprise to her, because like I said, like we talked about last week, I don't know the full story, but I know that, you know, didn't the mother get involved with something or whatever, had an opinion on the
About cleaning up allegedly.
Yeah, so he just doesn't care, and I don't really care for him either. Like I don't care about Oakley, Oak Tree. I don't care.
Not Oak Tree.
I like her. I do like her, but him,
we can do without scenes of him. Like they can spare us scenes with her and him together and use that camera time for somebody else. And then, give me Shamia and her husband. I'll take
you know
that.
what? I would love to see them, because you know what? It's a very bad habit over the last year or two of women coming on these shows and their spouses just make them look like shit.
Bronwyn and Todd. That's what
happened. I mean, it happened
right?
on Potomac with Kiana. It happened on Salt Lake City with Bronwyn. Like I just feel like it's a like these men don't. I don't know if they don't want to be on the show or they just dog ass men. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's both.
Baby,
but I couldn't do that to my spouse on TV. I couldn't.
I could never. Bravo. If they don't want to be on the show, don't let them on the show, because this is horrible. I don't want to see it. Like it's not even like endearing. You know how some people are like the lovable grump. He's not even.
Yeah.
He's not. I haven't.
No,
At first, I thought that he was. You know what I mean? The first scene of that. But as it progresses, when he was talking to her and she was like lifting all the heavy stuff herself, and like the way he talked to her at the renovation house, and he's withholding the engagement. He don't want to get involved with the family. Don't talk to him about the family. You know, he calling these people a bunch of losers. Like all this kind of stuff. Like everything that we've seen from him it's gone from worse to worse every week. And I've had my fill. I'm good.
I
It's
agree.
given they may not come back next season as a couple, where there's going to be tension down the line with them as a couple because
Oh, child,
people
that
fail to realize they
She ain't
already
leaving
have it.
him.
But what I'm saying, well, you're right. She probably ain't gonna leave him, but it's gonna be a hard pill to watch them as a couple on these shows because it's like I
Yeah.
don't care for y'all now, and people fail to realize when you get on the shows, sometimes he can be the straw that broke the camel's back, and next thing you know, y'all
That's
don't be
true.
together. So
Well,
we'll have to see what happens.
ooh, I hate to root for somebody's demise of their relationship, but if I was to ever be that type of bitch, it'd be this one. Um, make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'm sorry, girl. Run, Angela, run. Make sure you
She
guys
should have
continue to
been
like,
run.
comment, subscribe. Sherrod said, "Is it the rumor that Wendy Williams said?" Now the people say they don't know whether or not Wendy was in her right mind, allegedly, and I'm not making light of that because Angela has gone under everybody's comments on social media saying that it's not true. So that's why they're saying that. I'm not coming for Wendy. We love Wendy. Free her. We need her back. Okay. But let's
It's
go
just
ahead
the
and get
clip I
into the.
seen. Auntie was in her right mind.
Okay, all right. Well, but I'm just telling you what the people said. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into this last scene because that's what you came in for. All guns blazing. Let's give it to the people. Let's rock them, sock them. Ooh, no, not that scene. Catch that dirt. So it's time for the Kenya Moore hair spa event. The girls that arrived early actually did press and seemed happy to do it, which is rare. Catch that dirt. Um, and everybody's hyping up Kenya. They're excited for her hair spa. As we know, last season she filmed a hair spa with Housewives old and new, currently, and all of those things, and it got chopped. She then went on Carlos King's YouTube and burnt the house down, and was allegedly surprised that she got a contract for this season. I just threw y'all a little tea, so catch that. Um, so from there, everybody arrives. The girls show up. As I said, everyone's happy. It was good to see Miss Lawrence. Now, this is what I know from what I know because I was outside the club when I heard it years ago. But outside of the club, when I heard it, Cortez, you know what club I was outside when I heard this?
was it?
Remember third Saturdays in Atlanta at the club down in Midtown with the pool outside. What's the name of that club?
I know
Opera.
you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called, but
Was it
it was
Opera?
over there in Midtown.
Yes, in Midtown. It was not Opera, but anybody
It was
watching
yeah. It was. They had their little first, like the third or first
third
Friday.
Saturday.
I can't think of what it's called. What are you talking
I
about?
can't think of what it's called either. I was outside of that club. Everybody was out there. This is years ago. And Carlos just so happened to be out there. And this is like when Carlos was producing the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I was like, oh my God, it's Carlos. And then Miss Lawrence comes outside and they're talking. And I'm like, Marlo Hampton, moving my bang, listening, bitch. Well, Carlos sees this, he's gonna gag, bitch. And I'm just moving my bang, listening like Marlo Hampton. And Carlos says, "Bitch, are you coming to film? Because we need you." And Miss Lawrence said, "No, I told y'all I wasn't going to film anymore." But he did say, "I mean, I told Kenya I have her back, but I told y'all I'm done with this. Like I'm done filming. Y'all don't pay. Da 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 da." Da." Like I heard it all, bitch. Mm. So it was good to see Miss Lawrence knowing what I know to be true, and that's not alleged. I
So
heard
you
it.
think they gave Miss Lawrence some coins?
I don't think so. I don't think he got a day rate to film. I think he just popped up for those few moments to show support to Kenya because he did
Oh.
say he loved Kenya and he would do anything for her. But he was not at this point. Lawrence has since revealed that he was offered to be a cast member. So maybe that was the negotiations thereafter because he was like did not want to be used as an accessory. He did not like how gay people were treated on that show. In that conversation he was having with Carlos outside the club that I was eavesdropping on with my drunk ass, and he would also do anything for Kenya. So that's that tea that I heard. Ears up, catch. Okay, anyway, Kelly and Brit head over to the spa, and Brit genuinely wants to make things right by bringing flowers and a card for Kenya. Brit also asked that her aunt passed and she is the sister of her father who passed away. They had to have the GoFundMe for, as she mentioned earlier. So her aunt passing has been making her think of her father, which in turn having to deal with the Kenya situation has just been really weighing low on her. Now Bravo is trying to get, fuck it, I'm gonna just say it. Bravo trying to make us feel bad for Brit and her
Right.
actions. Just a quick yes or no. Does anyone take this into account and think that this may make her
No.
more apologetic?
The question
No.
wasn't even asked. You
No.
said fuck it.
Y'all know
Absolutely
where
not.
I'm going. Jody, yes or no?
No. No.
All right. In the
No.
group, in the excuse me, in the lounge, yes or no? Y'all buying it from Brit? Just give me a yes or a
Not
no.
David buying it.
Oh,
Now,
well,
come
you
on
know,
now.
David buys a lot of stuff that nobody else would, but somebody's got to take it off the shelf, right? Angela
Right.
speaks, and I don't buy that bullshit neither. Next, Angela speaks, because let me tell you something. I'm just gonna be very transparent. My aunt passed away last week, right? My aunt passed away last week. We didn't know for sure until like the end of the week. But while we were waiting, because they had to identify the body, all these type of things, I
Mhm.
did this show. I did my own show. I went over to the Lean and did their show, and I did another show. Not saying that everybody has to continue to work through their pain, but as I
Mhm.
worked through, the not knowing and then the knowing, I didn't treat people like bullshit on the way.
Right.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't feel like
Mhm.
that's an excuse. You treat people for what they're due. You give the devil they do. So whatever the devil do, you give it to him. But whatever you're going through personally should not, hopefully, impact whatever you decide to do to people who don't deserve it. Anyway, we'll just move on. I just feel like that's a bunch of bullshit, and I'm not here for that. I don't like when people do stuff like that.
Right.
Um, uh, Angela speaks with Kenya. Kenya says that Angela was the only one who reached out to her to show the text messages, and Angela then says that she is on Kenya's side. So that's probably why she was so quiet at the beginning of the episode, because she was like, "Well, girl, I ain't say all that. I'm just saying I get what you're saying, but I'm not saying that you're right in what you're saying." Britt tells Kelly that she hopes that she and Kenya can be friends. Porsha and Shamia tell Cynthia what Britt said, and everyone agrees that shouldn't have been said at all. Angela walks over and says that she hopes they can move forward as a group, and Porsha says no. Kenya definitely is going to get her get back. So I don't know what y'all are thinking about, but get it out of your mind, because it ain't happening. Trust me, I know from experience. The girls aren't sure if Britt is coming, and voila, as the old housewife trope goes, we don't know if she's coming, and Britt walks right into the room. Cynthia feels like if Kenya did not want Britt to be there, she would have told Britt not to come. And she's known for throwing people out. Both Porsha and Shamia say she would definitely throw you out, because Kenya has definitely thrown both of them out. She kicked Kenya out. She kicked Shamia off the boat. Cortez, remember that?
I
You're
remember.
getting off of my
Listen,
boat.
I instantly thought of all the time. She kicked Kenya out the boat. She kicked what's her name?
Porsha.
What's the girl, that the lady that had the nephew in Miami? She
Oh,
kicked him out the house.
Tanya.
She has kicked a lot of people off of things. So I was like,
Is
this
that
is
name? Was
actually
that name
quite
Tanya
funny.
too?
Huh? No, it wasn't Tanya. It was
No,
what?
what was
Yeah,
her
I
name?
think it was Tanya. Tanya.
Who was
Tanya. It was Tanya.
Tanya? Because remember,
Yeah.
they
She
just
had
say,
the braid.
"Ooh," with them. She remember Frazier was riding her braids. Said, "Ooh, I get some music like that."
But yeah, she
Remember,
kicked her
Jesus must be
nephew out
coming back.
the house.
I liked her, but all her scenes got chopped. She was gonna be a housewife. All her scenes got chopped when her nephew came out there and showed out like that in Miami. Um,
Good.
from there, and then Portia's been thrown out multiple times by Kenya. She threw out of her house, and she threw out of her Hollywood
Not
costume
ashy.
ball. Yeah, by Ashley. She threw out of somebody else's restaurant that wasn't hers. Drew then arrives and tries to speak to Portia. Drew says she's going through a divorce with a crazy man herself, so she would never want to be with Dennis in any capacity other than a working one. Portia, and then she says Portia can have his hot dog. Portia says that's supposed to be like some cute little song lyric, because bitch, you're crazy. No. Um, Portia tells Drew to use her common sense, because a simple conversation beforehand could have alleviated all of this. Drew says we did have a conversation after my birthday. Portia says that she's a liar, and like she wanted to punch her in the face, but thought better and just walked off. Um, Portia says that she was sick and did not schedule with Drew after Shamia's birthday party, and Drew says that she felt that after That since Porsha addressed her publicly and cussed her out, now she bringing her sister with her everywhere, and she can address her whenever she sees her in the group. We're gonna start right there, and then we're gonna get to the last part. What did you guys think of Porsha and Drew? What did you guys think of Brit saying that she hopes they could be friends, and Cynthia, who said that she did not know what was said in the press during her press interview, getting told what was said on the episode. Go ahead, Cortez.
I was confused by Cynthia's comment because from the press, it did seem like she didn't know anything. But I mean, in this episode, she clearly did. She was caught up to speed. I did laugh at the moment after Drew and Porsha had that moment where Cynthia was like, she said, I agree, or something like that. She agreed with Drew. And then Porsha was like, oh, girl, you ain't even been here, girl. Now you agree. Like, I really laughed at that. So that was that. In terms of Drew and Porsha, I'm not really invested in the storyline, but what I will say is that if Drew truly wanted to make amends, then she would have changed her approach. I think that I'm not saying she has to get on her knees and beg to be Porsha's friend, but she's making the issue worse by coming to her about the things that she's being accused of. So it should be more, in my opinion, the focus should be, Porsha, let's figure out how we can get back on in a good space. Not, I don't want your man. I want I don't want your man. You can have him. Like, that's not the way you come to me when I already feel like y'all got something going on. Because see, now I think you want my man, or he ain't even my man. I feel like you actually do. It should be more about their friendship and where they were, not where they are and how. It's just her approach was all wrong. It did look like Porsha wanted to pop her in the mouth. It really did. And you can tell that Porsha is very annoyed with Drew. So I really wish that Drew would just let it be. I don't really like Drew these days. She's just so annoying. Porsha, I liked her since like her first season. I do think she has mean girl energy a little bit this season. I've said that since the Ultimate Girls Trip. I felt like she's a bit different, not the same Porsha. But in this moment, I do side with her. I think Drew's approach is just so off. And please leave that girl alone. It's just off. Completely.
Jody?
I'm tired of the Drew and Porsha conversation. Y'all not getting nowhere. It's like every time they talk about it, they're rehashing what was said and how they feel. It's like no type of resolution, no type of ownership. Drew, you keep digging a deeper hole for yourself. You're trying to talk to her and be apologetic, but one, you are bringing your sister everywhere, and you didn't really do that before. So it does give me, all right, they trying to gang up on me. They trying to bully me. What are they doing? You know what I mean? And then you say the statement about his hot dog. Like, don't even say that. It should have been you know what, Porsha? I apologize. I did try to reach you. Obviously, I didn't reach you. This could have been resolved a long time ago. I promise you it's strictly about the music. I was out of line. It is your baby daddy. I should have gave you the heads up. I am trying to film with him, make it you know what I mean? It's a storyline. An adult conversation could have been had. But they don't give me adults. They give me teenagers. They act like high schoolers. Is like over Dennis, the hot dog kid.
Dennis hot dog, baby.
It's like that. He better have a mean sausage dog for them.
That thing, maybe that thing must be. I don't,
In the word, Tony Braxton and Tamar, ding-a-ling-a-go. You must have a ding-a-ling-go. But let me tell you what I was thinking. Let me tell you what I was thinking when I was watching that scene. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody give a fuck about this shit. Get this out the way and show us the posters immediately.
That's what I kept thinking. Like, why are y'all still?
I'm trying to sidetrack you right now, damn it. I don't need this.
I was low key hoping Bravo was gonna turn it, or I was looking.
Baby, let me tell you something. And I'm gonna go ahead and do y'all a favor. I'm gonna skip it because right now I'm so uninvested in Porsha and Drew. There is something that's gonna happen later on in the season that is hilarious. That probably will get me interested in it. But for right now, I have nothing for it because Porsha and Drew, in my opinion, are both known liars. So to me, they're having a lie off. I don't have time to figure out who told me what when. Drew wrong. But I don't even know if she was fully wrong, Cortez, because she sat there last week and asked baby daddy to have a talk with Porsha again, and he said, "Nah, you got it." And he almost made it come up like he never had a talk with her in the first place.
I think he's enjoying it. He's enjoying his TV time.
He's
enjoying
the topic of
discussion. Yes.
Yeah.
He's
making them
playing the girls against each other. He done hit Porsha with the 16 marriages joke. Then he ran. I'm
16
sorry.
marriages. Let me
No,
go ahead and
what?
read really quickly some Facebook comments from our Facebook lounge. Javer McDaniel says, yes, she meant it, and Bravo should have gotten rid of her. The girls say no, they're not buying it in the group chat as far as Brit Edie's apology tour is concerned. Denise Shaw says, Brit is definitely a mean girl. Kenya didn't deserve that energy from Brit. Denise Brown says, hey, all these Denises, says, love her. You're excellent, right? She, probably absolutely right. She threatened a girl with a gun and it's not right. Brandy Nichelle says that Kenya killed her own moment. Unbelievable. Ooh, I don't think that was Kenya. She said she. She killed her own moment. Unbelievable. She is ghetto and ratchet herself. I don't know. I think maybe that was about Brit. I don't know who that was about. Everybody else watching, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do greatly appreciate you because I want to go ahead and get to what we came here to get to. So let me go ahead and get to that. But before we do, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bells on. If you're listening to us on No Chaser TV, the podcast with Chase Brown, go ahead and give the podcast 5-star review. If you're not listening, once you get done from here or whatever you're doing right now, go over to Apple Podcast, Spotify, look up No Chaser TV and give us 5 stars and read the review. I mean, give
Hey,
us the review because you're already listening to it, so you heard it already. Wouldn't hurt for you
and
to see it
share
again
and
one
tell a
more time.
friend and tell a
Share to
friend.
tell a friend. Thank you so much, Jody, for that because that's what they need to do. All right. So from there, oh yeah, from there we get into the big moment as Angela walks over and says that she thinks Porsha, excuse me, that Kenya is gonna be cool, and Portia's like, shit me, y'all don't know who y'all talk about. Kenya comes over and greets the girls, and Brit tries to speak to her. Kenya pays her absolutely desert dust, not a zip, zilch, zero, and ignores her and gives her the cold shoulder and walks off. Brit then says, well, I tried you guys. I'm going to go ahead. No, she says, well, I tried you guys. I'm gonna
It's a
go ahead
two
and leave.
finger.
I'm gonna go ahead and leave the flowers and the card for Kenya because I tried. Um, and then Kenya begins to give her speech as Brit Edie exits the building. Kenya says the spa has been a labor of love and was built for her daughter, but she gets people trying to bring her down for no reason. Brit and Kelly are now outside, and Brit says that she did her part, and Kelly says that Kenya was rude for blowing her off. Meanwhile, back inside, Kenya says she gets situations like the other night where a person looking for a moment came for her. Now, she built this spa for her daughter, and this is to honor her daughter. And she says that from there, she tells her assistant to go ahead and take the fake flowers given to her by the fake person and gives them to a homeless man on the street. And Kelly said, we need them flowers. And Kenya said, throw them
She want that
motherfuckers out my
card.
building like I told you to.
Kelly trying to get
Kelly
that
then tries
card,
to
and
go
Kenya
ahead
said,
and
"I
get
don't
the.
want
Give
that."
me one second, Jody. Kelly
Oh
goes
my
ahead and
bad.
tries to get the card, and Kenya says, "Baby, don't you bring that card here, burn it. You can go out on that street with her ass and them homeless people. Don't play with me. Stay out of it." From there, Kenya says that she's been that bitch, still that bitch, and is going to pay you dust. Kenya says she then talks about having a gun. She keeps on her all the time, and you don't know who the fuck she is. Kenya says, no, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to find out because I ran a background check about it. Like to hear it? Here it go. So she pulls up the first poster, and the poster has all of the work that Brit has done on her. And from there, everybody's like, oh Lord. And Portia's like, well, if that's the first one, what's coming up next? Because she knows Kenya ain't done yet. That ain't it. So
Right.
from there, she pulls up the second one of Brit being a video hoe. Now, Kenya said one thing about it, baby. I done been on some videos, but I got paid, and I was the lead lady. I was never a video hoe. From there, Kelly gets upset, takes her little water bottle, and exit the building. And Kelly says, we done all been some hoes, especially Kenya. So I don't know what we talking about hoes for. This is her opening, and she's ruining her moment. From there, her and Brit leave the event. Kenya says, then the person that was sending her information kept digging up and kept finding information on Brit. And the third poster is allegedly, according to Cindy Bailey, of Brit sucking on that ding-a-ling. So everybody's shocked, flabbergasted, and in awe. And Shamia says, that's low. He says, you want some too, old man? And Shamia said, no. From there, because Kenya say ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do when a bitch threatened me with a gun. It's up and it's stuck. Angela
Right.
says, Shamia says it was too much. It's just team too much. Everybody's leaving the building. Angela says it was distasteful and uncalled for. Porsha says, no matter what, you wouldn't do this publicly at your event for other people. She threw away all of her hard work. Cynthia then tells her that Kenya is better than this and that she hated that Kenya let it in this way. Cynthia leaves, and Kenya says that she isn't going to tolerate people blatantly disrespecting her anymore. Porsha says, take my mind. Do you say it, Cortez? You said the best. Porsha said, take my mic off. I'm scared. What you said?
She did, basically.
Yeah, she
She
said
said,
she
take
was
my
done
mic off.
she
reporting.
said, matter of fact, I don't even want to be here. Like, this,
Yeah.
like, get that camera off me. Like, I don't act like she said, like, I didn't even come to this event. I was
And
like,
from there, you guys,
but it definitely was a take on mic if I don't want to be here.
yes.
It
And
was
from
the,
there,
Yeah.
production has ceased filming with Kenya Moore for the rest of the season. Make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bells. I'm gonna turn it over to Cortez first to let him get his thoughts out about it, and then we're gonna go ahead and let Jody get it in. I'm gonna drop the link. The link is going to allow you guys to call it and give you your thoughts, and I'm definitely gonna give mine because I have them and I'm not holding back on them. Go ahead, Cortez. Tell me what you think.
so, this scene, it was quite cringy, as I said last night in our chat. I know it's almost like I didn't know that it was gonna happen, but I knew, but obviously I knew. But when I saw it, it was like, dang, like it's like when a person. So then let's go back to when Monique Samuel said she blacked out. Okay, she didn't black out. She knew what she was doing. Kenya,
Oh,
in my mind, I felt like she really blacked out in this rabbit hole of what she was doing. And I say that because she wasn't reading the room. Like, okay, first poster, okay, second poster, okay, third poster. If it really was this girl sucking on some meat, that is crazy. And it goes back to what I said last week when I said about Brit. I said this is like the stuff that Brit was talking about last week, the guns and blah blah blah, all that. That's love and hip hop type things. I'm not coming at that show, but that's what I don't expect it on Housewives. I also don't expect this on Housewives. I don't expect to see somebody's penis in somebody's mouth on Housewives of anything. Like, that's just crazy. If that's what Housewives is about now, then we've completely lost the pathing of what this show was about. And Kenya being an OG at this moment, like, it was crazy. And the thing is also, she didn't do this at a film cast closed event. She did it amongst the general public. So that could have been me in the audience. It could have been you. It could have been you, Jody. We could have been there. And mind you, she's going down this whole spiel about how this person came for her. Like I'm pretty sure watching, they probably was like, okay. It was just too much. It was too much. I just didn't like it. I see people in the comments, not these comments, online saying, she should have been threatened with no gun. I'm sorry. I don't even think what Brit said, even though it was crazy to spin or do whatever, I don't think that warranted you showing a picture or video or whatever of someone sucking on a penis. Like, you have to know that was going to be, it could even lead to some kind of legal action. I mean, that's just crazy. You have to know. Kenya's big age. She should know better. I'm sorry. I've never been an advocate for Kenya, really, ever.
ever. He ain't never liked her, y'all.
Never. I've enjoyed her this season and kind of last season. I think she finally stepped into an OG role, but all of that went away, in my opinion, in this scene. And it's unfortunate because we were looking forward to, seeing her in Porsha, but you don't use a moment that's supposed to be about you and your daughter and make it about somebody else and exposing them. You don't do that. And so I can't support it in any kind of way. I don't like Brit, and I enjoy Kenya, but she blacked out. She completely lost it. She lost all morals, all things. At that moment, don't bring Brooklyn into this. When Brooklyn gets 18 and she watches this clip, I will be like, "This is my salon, dick in the mouth." Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, it just was so distasteful. I didn't like it at all. I can't support it, and I hate it. I hate it happen. But you know what I will say? Y'all mean to like this? This might have just been, some redemption for everything she did in the past. because Kenya has done a lot in the past, a lot that she's gotten away with. Maybe it was never this bad, but one thing about that karma, it comes back. It comes back.
Ask Dr. Simone. She know all about it.
I'm just saying. So I hate that for her, but yeah, I can't defend it. I'm sorry. It was bad, and I watching it. I watched the scene twice because I watched the scene and I watched the episode. And I was just like, ooh. In my mind, I'm like, don't do it, girl, don't do it. And then she did. I was like, ooh, she did it.
Yeah. I was trying to take the damn thing post out of her hand from the
I know. I was like, give me that
Oh,
damn.
no, give it here. Just give it to me.
But it was too late. It's like she could have. I wish she would have stopped after the second poster. Just reading the room. Nobody was entertained. I don't think anybody. They may have been ooh and on, but nobody was really following her journey of where she was going on her spiel. Nobody was with her. It was just literally Kenya and what she wanted to do. And I just hate that for her. Because she let a newbie who she claimed she was going to pay dust. And baby, I guess you don't know what paying dust means because baby, you didn't pay no
That's
dust.
not, but you didn't pay her no dust.
You paid Brit.
Baby, you gave her
money to her.
money. Okay. For the 99 and the 2000s. Okay, Cortez. Wow. Yeah. I want to hear what Jody has to say. Jody.
The thing about it is when somebody try you, right, you can't really tell somebody how they're to react, right? You're gonna react how you feel you should. However, we all know Kenya gonna have a prompt. She always has some type of prop when she ready to drag it to hell. She have a prop with her. But I felt like the only person that read the room today was Porsha, because Porsha was like, y'all acting like she's gonna be cool with this girl. No, we know how Kenya get down. She was the only one. Like I know it. Like she said, if this the first picture, it's only gonna go downhill from here. And everybody else was just, and Porsha was like, even though that was crazy, she already told y'all this is how Kenya gets down. Kelly, I felt like Kelly was trying to act more hurt and upset than anybody else. I think it's mostly because she rolled there with her. I don't think she would have reacted the way she did if she didn't ride with Brit. She probably would have sat there and seen it all through, but the fact that she left and was like, oh no, we leaving, or we was all some hoes, da 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 da. And then when you see her go outside and it looks like Brit was out there waiting on her, I guess again, because they rolled together. It was like, okay, Kelly, you doing too much to me.
That's your square, baby. If she's doing too much for you, she's doing too much.
Yeah, I think she just was trying to prove that she's such a friend of Brit, which is crazy because from what I see now, it looks like they may have gotten into it along the way. But how she was choosing to act, it was like you went from not being in it, now you in it because that's your girl, you ride or die. Yeah. I feel as if Bravo only took offense to, because if we're being honest here, right?
Yes.
What Brit did, just like what Kenya did, those are both offenses that could have gotten both of them legally in trouble.
Yeah.
Because what Brit said, Kenya could have took it as a threat and went and got like a restraining order. That could have caused all kind of issues for production. And then because you could, trust me, I know, you can get a restraining order just because of things that people say to you, and it's on camera. And you have to keep in mind, she can say, this is my workplace. Add another level to it. I don't feel safe. She could have easily got that girl booted off the show, but she didn't. She chose to drag it to hell. And I'm be honest with you, maybe I'm a bad guy. She was wrong, but it was like, I didn't think it warranted her to be off the show though. Maybe I just was ready to see her this season because I feel as if we would have gotten them confessionals would have been everything because Kenya has been on point so far. The only time she was paying her dust was when they was at the dinner table. Because this wasn't it.
That wasn't dust, baby.
That wasn't. I felt like if she would have treated her how she treated her at that dinner table, she would have got more of a reaction. You made it about your daughter. You started off about your daughter and people bothering you. Maybe you were stressed out because we seen Kenya crying when she was talking to Kelly, which was new, But it just felt like, damn, Kenya, you missed the mark. This ain't you. You should have made it about your salon, use the marketing for the exposure. And then maybe the next time y'all all get together, do brunch or something, pull it out for the rest of the girls. Pull out an envelope or something if you had to do it, but you may
Well,
not be back on the Housewives because of this.
yeah.
For some
Um.
public information that clearly was already out there.
Okay.
I want to say something real quick because I know I have to dip off.
Yes.
As far as this, so what's odd to me about this whole thing is that everyone kind of didn't act like they didn't know if Brit was coming. Kenya didn't know if Brit was coming. I think Kenya knew Brit was coming, and I think that's why the stunt was done. I think she was actually hoping to do it while she was there to embarrass her in that way. Because I don't think that Kenya would really plan all this cardboard and all this information, all this background check to an audience that has no clue who Brit is. Mind you, nobody knows who the hell Brit is other than the cast. So I think she knew that production was coming. I'm sorry, I think she knew that Brit was coming. I also think that production knew what she was going to do. Someone signed off on it. Maybe somebody helped her with it. I think it was another case of kind of like with the whole situation with Phaedra, where production was privy to what was happening, and then it got out, and then it blew up. But I don't feel like Kenya was set up because she's grown, right? But I think that it was known what was going to happen, and I think it was supposed to be worse than what it was. So,
I mean,
as far as you saying, Jody, that she shouldn't have been fired, I kind of agree, because I feel like that somebody had to know that was going to happen, and they could have stopped it, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And both
Hold
offenses
on, Jody.
could have been legal.
Before you get in on it,
Matters.
Jody, let me just hold on, Jody. Give me 1 second.
Oh, go
Before
ahead,
you
go
get
ahead.
in on it, don't you know shit. I'm gonna let you go though.
Oh
But
no, that's all I have to say.
Cortez, thank you so much for joining us. Cortez is gonna go ahead and drop off. Me and Jody are gonna go ahead and let some callers on. I'm gonna give my thoughts because baby, I got to give them to you.
Oh, I know you're gonna give it to him. I'm
Baby,
gonna still be
gonna let
watching,
the
but I
world.
got to do some work. That's
No
why.
problem. Thank you so much, Cortez.
Thank you. Nice to
Cortez
meet
is
you,
the host.
Jody.
Nice to meet you. See you
You
next
may
time.
see me again if the season's still good. It may
Yeah.
pop up. I don't know.
Right.
If it ain't good, I mean, you don't see me. If it's good, I'll come back.
Listen, Cortez is the host of The Lean. Y'all know where to find that at. But if not, you can go ahead and search The Lean because it's going to be the number one on the search engine in YouTube. And go ahead and subscribe to those guys at my home as well. I on The Lean as well. If you haven't already, but just about everybody has. However, hey, can't help, can't hurt. And we'll go ahead and have Demisio drop the link in the chat for The Lean. For those who have not already followed you guys and subscribed.
Bye,
Thank
y'all.
you so
Y'all have
much.
the rest of y'all show.
Thank you so much, Cortez. Okay, Jody, you were going to say, and then I want to go ahead and let this out because I got to let it rip.
Oh no, I was just saying that I feel as if I feel like it was planned for Kenya. Definitely planned it. Somebody probably did know in production. However, I don't think she really was thinking about how she was going to do it. Because remember when Brit came there, Brittany didn't even get Brit didn't get an opportunity to stay. Porsha Kenya put her out and talked about the flowers, which I want to know, was the flowers fake for real? Or
She
she was
could have
just saying
flowers
it's
like
fake
I don't
because of the
know. I can't
individual?
tell.
Okay, I couldn't tell
It
either.
is to me, child. I mean, I would love,
Yep.
I'm a girl who like real shit. Don't get me wrong,
Hello. But it could
yeah.
have been a nice little display in the living room. Yeah.
But I wouldn't have
So
wanted nothing from her. I'm just gonna be honest.
I mean, I wouldn't have wanted nothing from her either. But I felt like if your whole point was to embarrass her, I would have made sure you stayed
Me
to see that.
too.
So
I
that was the
would
part
have
that
been
threw
like,
me
"Hey,
off
girl, how
because
you
I'm
doing? Oh no,
like,
all is forgotten. Stay."
because you literally was like, no, you can leave, and I'm like, what was the whole point of showing it to everybody else but her? Because if I'm gonna be messy, I'm gonna do one of these right in your face. I'm gonna hold up that poster
She
because I'm gonna
probably
be
was
looking
afraid
dead
that
in your
girl had
face.
a pistol for real and a whip on her for real, and she showed it in her face. And now she
Maybe
was
that
warning
was
for
it.
that ass whooping. Let me go ahead and say this, you guys,
Go
okay?
ahead.
First of all, this whole ordeal is a bunch of bullshit.
Yes.
And this whole ordeal to me is a bunch of bullshit because it didn't have to get this far at all.
At
I'm
all.
gonna stand 10 toes down on it. Brit Eady wanted a problem with Kenya Moore. She
Yes.
wanted it. She wanted a problem with Kenya Moore. She didn't like the way that she asked her about the ring, talked about the ring. Then she didn't like that she didn't get no hug, even though the girl only hugged her bestie. So then the girl hugs her at the Balmain event and says, "Oh, you look pretty, Balmain Barbie." And then from there, she hugs her again at the bank, and the hug wasn't that tight at the bank. And then they get into it at the bank, which is what she was looking for. Kenya gave her the moment she wanted. She couldn't handle it. She went ahead and started talking about pistols and whips and guns and all of those things. Now we're gonna stop it right there. And the reason why we're gonna stop it right there is because at the end of the day, this is a job. At the end of the day,
Yes.
they are getting paid. So at the end of the day, Kenya said that when she went on Tamron Hall, she said that she told those people that she felt threatened, and everybody made it like Kenya was a black Karen and was over exaggerating the situation. Even though, let me tell you something, can't nobody tell me. Let's just go ahead and be honest. If you were to hear someone that you've only met twice say that they have pistols and whips and their husband outside waiting on you, and you don't know them from Adam's house cat, what would you think if somebody said it about you and you heard it? Because if it were me and somebody said they had a pistol and a gun for me, bitch, you better be prepared to use it because we're fighting there.
Correct.
So for me, it's not that people, I see a lot of people saying, oh, you guys are making a lot out of what she said and she wasn't going to use
No.
it. How do I know she wasn't going to use it? I don't know her. I don't know nothing about this girl. How do I know she wasn't going to use a gun on me? I don't know that. Okay. First of all, so then when I go to my job and my employer and they tell me I'm taking things too far or I'm over exaggerating the situation and they pay me dust, oh, I'm going to handle things and I'm going to take it into my own hands and I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get a bitch up off me. Everybody knows that expression. If you don't, quote unquote, to get a bitch up off of you, when people talk about you in school, when people bully you in school and they think you quiet and they think you're meek or they think that you won't fight back, you got to get a bitch up off you. And that's either verbally or physically. You're going to have to get. So the thing about me was I didn't really have a lot of fights because I knew how to read. And I talked a good game. So I didn't, thankfully for me, I didn't have to go through all that. I have had fights. Okay. Not saying that I'm absent from having a fight or two, but thankfully it just didn't get that far for me. So, but that was because I was defending myself verbally and I knew how to get a bitch up off of me. Okay. So what did Kenya do? Kenya does what she always does, and that's take things too far to get a bitch up off of her and prove a point. Okay. She took things too far, in my opinion. I am highly disappointed that she chose this particular event to do it at after she worked so hard. We need to get people in that salon. We need to get butts in those seats. We need to make sure people getting their hair done. We need to make sure people getting their nails done. We need to make sure that we're making a return on our $400,000 investment so that my daughter can go to college. I would not have chosen there as the time of the place. But then you also have to think about that's not the first time she filmed the scene at the Kenya Moore Hair Spa. The last time she filmed it where it was peace, tranquility, and class, as everybody says they wanted, it was chopped. So maybe that's why she chose that moment to make that statement. Kenya was blind with rage, with fury. I haven't seen her that angry in a very long time. And she continued to get angrier and angrier. That is not the definition of paying a girl dust, because paying her dust would have been giving her absolutely nothing like she gave her when she was speaking to her, and then making a quick comment about her, if anything at all. I would have made a quick joke. I know y'all seen Casper the Ghost coming here with that closed up nose and them teeth hanging out her mouth trying to speak to me, but this is my moment and she won't get it.
Baby,
Moving
I
on.
would have
Boom.
had
That
her
would have been it.
chasing me all season, trying to be friends with me.
Moving on. And I'll deal with her after this. But tonight, it's about me, my baby, and us. So we're going to have a good time here tonight. And she would have got absolutely nothing. The fact that she continued to go ahead after she showed the first slide, the second slide is where it got tricky, because the second slide, I would have even looked at the room and been like, you know what? And if the bitch mess with me again, I got a third one, and she don't want to see what's on this third one. I would have withheld that for a later date. I wouldn't have gave all my cars away, which who's to say Kenya did. I actually spoke to a good homegirl of mine who is a producer on these Housewives shows and has produced Atlanta and has produced Potomac. And she was like, you know, I didn't produce that season, but a good producer knows what their talent is going to do. So she found it hard to believe that Kenya got away with this without somebody knowing. So there's an extra added caveat to me that if someone on production knew that she was going to go this far and it broke the rules and the code of conduct that Bravo has since put out since the reality reckoning, that, you know what, somebody should have did something. Somebody should have did something. So for me, if Kenya got fired, the producer should have got fired, and I'm gonna go another step further. Brit should have been fired first.
Correct, because I felt like
Brit, they should have been fired together. Because hold on, Jody, you let Brit get out this redemption. You let Brit get out this this
PR
pity
tour.
party. You let Brit go on the apology tour. You let Brit go from girl to girl. You let Brit recognize her mistake. You let Brit own it and move forward and be accountable. So she says, even though I don't find nothing about that accountable, I don't believe anything about the apology. I don't believe anything about what she said because she went on her social media and said that it was a lie. She never said the shit that she said. She absolutely said those things. We absolutely saw her do it. So for those of you who don't like Kenya, I understand that. I recognize that. You don't have to like Kenya, but you should also not like nobody sitting there playing in your face, lying about what they did when you saw her do the opposite of what she said she didn't do. So that's the first thing for me.
Exactly.
Don't play in my face. Now you playing in my face because you lying to me, and you don't have to lie to me. Say you said it, and you meant it, and you wish you wouldn't have said it on camera because she obviously meant the shit. Because in the same scene at the beginning of the episode, when she was trying to be apologetic and remorseful about being violent, then she goes ahead and says that she'll beat a bitch ass. They talk about her husband. So which one is it? Are you violent? Are you not? Because the only thing that I've seen from you is that you've gone ahead and probed Kenya, you prodded Kenya, you comfort Kenya, you've made a mountain out of a molehill, and you threaten people with guns, whips, and now you're saying you're gonna beat a bitch ass. That's all I know from you is to be somebody who is just unhinged. So for me, it's a chop for Brit. Okay, if Brit was gonna be fired, if Kenya was gonna be fired, everybody should have been fired. The producer who allowed the shit, Kenya, unless the producer said I told her not to do it and she did it anyway, then you all right with me, baby. But if you knew she was gonna do it and you ain't try to tell your executive producer, you didn't try to tell nobody, bitch, it's up and it's stuck. You fired too. Kenya fired and Brit gotta go. If Brit gets the apology tour, Kenya should have got the apology tour, even though Kenya was dead ass wrong. But let's not must make no mistakes about it. Just because Kenya was dead ass wrong and she went low does not absolve Brit Eady from the fact that she was wrong and dead ass wrong too. Because on no workplace and no environment can you ever threaten nobody with a gun. I don't give a damn what happened on Housewives 10 seasons ago, y'all. You want to know why? Because the world was a very different world 10 seasons ago. And we don't play about the rules that we had 10 minutes ago. We got a president changing the rules every time he wake up in the morning. So the rules yesterday don't apply to today. These are the set of rules today, and this is what we're going to go by. Kenya was dead ass motherfucking wrong. And let me tell you about Kenya. Kenya pulled that old 2012, 2013, 2014 bullshit out our ass. You can't do that no more in this today's society. Unfortunately for you, society is woke and slut shaming, even though the girl may have, she was a video vixen since high school and you're now watching Brittany Eady. It doesn't fly in this day and age. And to me, it was lowbrow for Kenya because she can come a lot harder than she came. And unfortunately, she ended up spraying herself and robbing herself of a season where she could promote the business. Now the tea is on the street, and I'm gonna give you the tea on the street. The people didn't want her back on the show. No way. Y'all do with that what you will, okay? And I got them from a very reliable source. I don't know if that's true or not, but the source told me, and I don't do sources. Anything I tell you, 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10 be the truth. The people didn't want her back no way. A lot of people don't like working with her, allegedly. Oh, no, that's not her. That's somebody else. Excuse me. Let me retract that. That's another girl. I won't say that about Kenya. That's another girl on the show. Well, that's another girl who used to be on the show that the people don't like working with. We'll say that one for later. But basically, if Candy didn't go, they were playing with Kenya contract allegedly. That's just all I got for y'all. They was playing with that girl contract allegedly. They didn't want her back, and this is the way to get her out the door for the rest of the season. I don't think that they anticipated for the fandom to be this split on the issue. However, what I will say about it is, if you ask me, is it wrong? Yes. Do I feel both of them are wrong? Yes. Do I feel Kenya Moore went low and it was gutterball, butt nasty, trashy, classless? Absolutely. D, all of the above. Yes. Do I feel bad for Brit Eady? No, 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 no,
Okay,
no. And
that's
Jody,
what
you want to know why I
y'all.
don't feel bad? Thank you. You want to know why I don't feel bad for Brit Eady? Because
Right.
Brit Eady got the Kenya she was looking for. And now she want to play sad and the violin. You was
I'm
asking that
okay
lady
with
for
that.
a moment. Now you got it. Deal with it. What you
I'm
gonna do
okay
with
with
it,
that.
boo? Nobody deserves what you got. However, when you go fucking with people, you know what certain people come with. So don't go over there messing with people if you're not prepared with all that bad energy that they come with. Leave them people the fuck alone, okay? And lastly, when it comes to Kenya Moore, all I'm gonna say is this: she has a very long history of taking things too far. She has a very long history, well documented, of getting the girls real nasty, low down and dirty. We can name off the names, pulling the actress Kim Fields' chair, bringing the cookie lady, doing the things that she's done with the bullhorn, the scepter, all of these things. You can name them, like Sutton says, and there's a list, and there's a season, each season, maybe except for the last two, Bolo Gate, all of these things that have happened that I felt, and a lot of the people felt like Kenya Moore that did was too far, and she went unscathed. And I'm gonna just say this: you either gonna pay on the front end or the back end, but you're gonna pay. With that being said, Jody, I'm gonna go ahead and let this phone open, let these people call in and tell us what they're thinking. From
Okay.
there, we're gonna go ahead and give our final thoughts, and we're gonna call it a night. Okay.
Okay.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I want to make sure I got that full ran out because I didn't want to repeat it twice. I want everybody to be clear where I stand. I don't condone what nobody did in this situation. I don't condone what Brit did. I damn sure don't condone what Kenya did. However, do I feel bad? I got to be honest with you. No, I don't. Because when you go fucking with people who ain't got nothing but that work for your ass and they give you that work, then what the fuck did you expect? I am so sorry.
Exactly. You ain't got to be sorry. You told it like it is. You're right.
All right. I know a lot of girls in the comments mad about it, Jody, but it is what it is. Let me go ahead and let the caller.
She asked for.
Mel, what's the T, Mel?
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, hello, Chase and Jody. I wanted to say to you, Chase, hello, Miss Jody. You were wonderful tonight. You're wonderful. Chase, I'm sorry for you, I'm sorry for your loss because I heard you
Thank
say,
you.
I know last week you brought it up. You brought it up, and I'm sorry this kind of resulted. Actually, when it was over, I prayed. I prayed for your family because
thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you.
I did. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, okay. So I actually made a couple of notes because I actually enjoyed this episode. This episode is very polarizing, actually, I think, because some people said the season is low rated. They said it's not really engaging. The people don't like the new ladies. They're upset with the older ladies. But it went so fast. The episode went from start to finish, and I didn't really skip anything. I enjoyed every scene, and I have some thoughts about it. So for me, when it comes to Miss Angela's daughter, I thought, Miss Amari, God bless her, poor Miss Amari, because something is definitely going on over there. There's no reason in God's green earth that your grandmother and your aunt's trying to jump you in that house. Like, why would they be trying to get you together in the house physically, because something is definitely going on there. And then I was thinking about Angela and her husband, Charles. When I was talking about it, I was like, damn, maybe they are Robin and Juan in 10 years. Like, they definitely give them that kind of relationship where it's like a partnership, a business ship, or whatever kind of ship. But I will say that Mr. Charles do look like, I made some good fried chicken. That chicken looked like it'd be some good. I mean, I would look at the chicken. I think it was better than the 3LW, whatever the ladies are down there. It didn't look greasy. It looked seasoned well. I said, okay, Mr. Charles, like, he may be mean as a damn crow, but that chicken looked like it was crispy and dry and not greasy.
Wash your hands though before you touch a piece of that chicken.
You need to. You see, he was talking so fast, he didn't see that his wife done cleaned her hands. So he looked like he knew how to cook, so I was okay with that. Okay, what else I was going to say? Oh, okay. So Porsha, I did enjoy the scene with Porsha and Brit. I thought it was good. But Porsha, I don't want you asking about nobody's affairs and whose children. No. You spending too much time with Giselle Bryan, honey. You need to stop that. We don't want you going out here acting like you and Potomac. That lady trying to give you too many tips about how to be on this show. I'm still confused about her and Drew, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But you know what? I want to say this. This episode was so polarizing that I ended up watching classic episodes, Chase, of Housewives of Atlanta. I did, and I had to watch it. So I'm thinking about the season 5 finale reunion.
Yes.
And we had, of course, I have to say this. We have, of course, the iconic line from Miss Kenya saying, "Don't you come for me unless I send for you." Now, after she said that, she said, "You know what? To the pregnant Phaedra, I'm going to punch you out, and you're going to have to lose your teeth. You're going to lose your teeth, Miss Pregnant." And that gun incident in her closet was also for Phaedra. Now, when Kenya first got there, she was extremely aggressive in her fighting when it came to Phaedra. Phaedra was not no saint, obviously. I mean, Miss Candy can tell you that she is no saint. But the woman was pregnant, and I believe personally. Now, I think Chase remembers this. I was on his show a little before. I loved Kenya at the beginning. I loved her. Actually loved her, and she was friendly, and I had a story about that, but she was nice. But when I watched the show, she did come on with agenda. So I tell people now that Brit is basically a baby Kenya. That's what she
What you
gives me.
said?
That's what she gives me. Now, mind you, when Miss Kenya came on the show, she didn't have no real relationship. They said that she paid for the husband. She was super aggressive with
I
some of
didn't think about
the
that.
she was super aggressive with some of the cast members when it comes to the stunts and the shows. People were annoyed with Kenya those first seasons. Once Phaedra got too mean with her, that's when people started loving on her. But at first she was aggressive. She was talking about taking them down, taking teeth out, and no, she was definitely doing Brit. Now, what Brit did that was wrong was that she watched those 2 seasons of Kenya first getting there and thought she can come in there in 2025 and say, this is going to be my target, and I'm going to now be aggressive with my wording. We never saw anything. So I think for me, so that's what the karma comes at the place where Chase was saying. Kenya made a name for herself being aggressive with the woman on this show. And then now you have this younger lady coming in, and now she's gone after the OG, which is Kenya. It's the same thing. It's crazy to me. So I thought that that's why I say I see Brit as a baby Kenya. But I will say I was moved. Now, not to get too much of my business, I have had a family member who, unfortunately passed away after being on life support. And so I was very emotional, Chase and Jody, with that scene
Wow.
when she said it. So
Yeah.
maybe because of my experience, I did.
Yeah.
So when I saw Miss Kelly, who I'm enjoying so much,
Mhm.
so if I was in that car, Jody and Chase, and with her and not knowing her that well, and then I'm already emotional because my life, she tells me
Mhm.
this. We get to the event. We supposed to have fun. The hair show was fabulous. Absolutely, I was loving it. I was having a
Yeah.
good time watching
It
the
was a
hair
good
show.
event.
'Cause I love those kind of shows and stuff like that. So now we got the pictures and all this stuff. Thinking, I'm like, wait a minute. This woman just told me that a person passed away from life support. That's probably why she was protective of Brit in that moment, because she just said it in the van.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was going on, and I think that also Kenya. I don't know if she wasn't nervous or anything, but she didn't pay attention to Brit when she got in there. But it's the moment. What I will say, the moment she did see Brit, she said, "Okay, it's time to put the show on." She said, "Okay, let's get come on." I will give her that part. Kenya was firm in that part. She was like, "Okay, I'm ready to do my little stunt right now." But she didn't know that Brit was like, "I'm sad right now. I want to come here with the flowers, with the card, and I'm leaving since I'm not going to be fighting with you." So Brit moved too fast. She was in there. She didn't get what she wanted from Kenya. She was right out the door. She wasn't aggressive. She wasn't mean. She wasn't nasty. I think that probably threw Kenya off. She's like, wait a minute. I want her to keep on trying to talk with me or do basically a Drew with what Drew's doing with Porsha. I
Yeah.
wanted to keep on trying, but Brit didn't do it. So that was that was a sad part to me, because it was sad that Kenya has been known for doing stunts and shows on this show, and of her age and of her Miss America and all the stuff that she does, a beautiful Black woman. As what's her name? As Cynthia said, I was sad for her to see it. It was sad because
Yeah.
the stunt did not work. It didn't work. It wasn't like a binder. It was nothing. People would get. You know what I was going to say to y'all too? I was laughing, even though it was sad, because the audience that they had there, the sounds they were making remind me of like a cheap Tyler Perry play or something. They was just clutching their pearls. They about to have the Holy Spirit come. They was like, oh my God, what are we? How is this happening?
It was shocking. My jaw dropped, and we've known for a year. My jaw dropped.
The sounds they were making in the audience there, the ladies, because not the cast member, but the behind the scene people, they was like, oh, whoa, the sounds were just making me laugh too much. But yeah, that's what I think. I think that listen, Brit studied Kenya. I think she loves Kenya, and she came in there wanting to pull a Kenya on Kenya. And I think for both these ladies, it was a dangerous combination. And I wish that Kenya would have clocked that and would have said, wait a minute, this girl is using my own tricks against me. Why is she coming in, making up something with me that we don't have a history? I don't know her for 2 months, 2 years. I don't know this woman. So she's doing to me what I did with women when I first got there. I'm not going to give her anything. I'm actually not going to do anything. I didn't see no weapon. I think Cynthia said in her interview recently, she said what she wished she would have said was, I don't want to film with her the whole season. That probably would have dried up Miss Brit real fast if she decided not to film with her, not do any stunts and stuff like that. So, anyway, it was a good episode, and I'm actually scared that maybe the season is going to be not good now that Kenya's gone, because it was too good. It was a very good episode. I was laughing, and it's sad that Kenya went out that way, but what can you do? What can you do? Oh, I was going to say lastly too, Chase, hopefully this week, I want to give you a credit about this. This is off topic. That's just the last thing I'm going to say. I was thinking about you because I'm not sure if you remember, because of your your unfortunate family
Yes.
situation. But this week, I remember I came on your show last year, and
Uh-huh.
I talked about Mr. Patrick McDonald from Potomac. It was a producer,
Yes.
and now that went viral, and it went viral. Now I was telling you now, and like you say, Mr. Chase, you would be on point too, because I came
Oh
on your
yes, you
show.
did mention Patrick, and then he went viral for like exposing the Beverly Hills girls.
Well, no, he went viral because he talked about his lifestyle, and I remember I was on your
Oh.
channel last year, and I was talking about. So I'm just like, I hope that you do a recap about that so we can go more detail. This
Oh,
when
you want to talk? Okay, well, yeah. Okay, I know people wanted me to talk about it, but I can, sure.
Yeah, well, you do your happy hours and stuff like
Yes,
that.
happy hour.
But anyway, listen, it was yeah, I did a good recap, and again, I'm thinking about hopefully you and your family do very well, and
Thank
make
you
sure
so
that you,
much.
yeah, of course, listen, I love your channel, and it's all good. And Miss Jody,
Yes,
you did a wonderful job, and that's it.
thank
I'm gonna
you.
let you have a good night.
All right, thank you so
You
much,
too,
Mel.
you
We
too.
appreciate you. Our condolences to you as well, and thank you so much for all of your support. We're going to bring on our next caller, lovable Lisa. We got a callers in the back, y'all. So go ahead and be conscientious of your time because we do have other callers waiting. Thank you, Mel, and go ahead and bring up cocktails of lovable Lisa for me, please. Production. Girl, I'll do it. Ugh. Hey, lovable Lisa.
How you doing,
Hey, hey, hey,
man? How
Hey.
y'all doing? I'm listening. What's your name? Jody.
Jody. Yeah, you can just
How
say
you doing
Jody.
tonight, Jody? You
I'm
cute
good. How
too.
you?
Yeah, she cute just like me. She's
Real
cute
cute.
just
Them
like
bags shining
me.
on
Yeah.
them.
Okay, you cute too, Chase. Okay, baby.
Thank you,
You
boo. Thank you,
doing
boo.
it? But now let's get started, girl.
Let's get
Oh, we
started.
child. Let's get started with Angela. Baby, I have a daughter. It's much little more older than uh Angela daughter is.
Hmm.
Baby, my daughter got married and she didn't tell me. Baby, I would have been fussing in her ass like a mother. Especially when I know we ain't got no problems. Now the way I heard it last night was she said she asked her grandma for the car and the auntie star said, "No, you can't take the car. You can't get the car." But she said her grandmom didn't say nothing. She said it was her auntie the one who said,
Mm.
Is that not right?
I have to go
I think
back
it was
and
the
review
grandmother.
Yeah,
it.
I could be wrong.
if I was looking at
It's
it,
very
the
semantic.
it was the
Yeah.
auntie that she got into it with.
Okay.
And her auntie was one that's like, "No, you ain't finna take the car. You ain't finna do that." Now I don't know what's going on there, but Angel seems like she got some problems going on in her family. I know she said her mom was bipolar and everything like that, so that probably got a whole nother family domination going on. So I'm just gonna pray for her like that because it seems like she got a lot of problems right there. And
Mhm.
then you got Charles over here, child. Charles was not playing about the clean hand. Don't touch my chicken if your hands ain't clean. I don't
Okay.
think that's his personality. He seemed what I'm hearing is he's a good basketball player. He's a good guy, but he's a hardcore. You know what I'm saying? You would take
Hmm.
him or you can leave him. Okay, that's what he's saying. That's the way his personality is. As I heard from the players back in the day who used to do interviews with him. My fault.
No, you're all right.
And
Bless you.
and and a second thing of it is, now I told y'all, baby, I told y'all so much. I'm so sad this up with you. Like I said, I believe all three of them involved in this goddamn plot. These ain't going no goddamn where. I believe Portia part of it, Drew and Dennis. All three of them together is on this together. Okay, I don't give a care what how Portia. I don't give a care what Portia said. She part of it. Drew Potter, all their storylines come together. They can draw me a bridge so y'all can walk over the damn bridge so
Yeah.
we can get y'all ass off the show. Go
Yeah.
to the goddamn left, go to the goddamn left and find y'all some other storyline. Cause I am sick of tired of y'all goddamn three. Okay, I'm sick of y'all. I don't know why they brought Portia back because she getting on my last goddamn nerve. She need to figure out, she need to go find that food though that Stanley promised her. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That's why she got ice on Simon. She called ISO Sam. Y'all know he
Oh
did. She
yeah,
called ISO
allegedly, allegedly.
Sam. Allegedly, allegedly. Allegedly, yeah, we gotta say the word allegedly. And then on another case, baby, now let's get to the bum. Tell you something. Dude was just telling you now all that stuff, now, baby, dog. She did. You threatened a pregnant ass woman on live TV, coming you a punch her in her face. Knock her teeth down her throat, so you can't talk. And they like Kelly said, you was a video hoe too. Come on now. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you got paid, she got paid. Now they don't get. I know video girls don't get paid a lot of money, but they got paid some money, okay? And so you cannot talk neither, okay? Those low budget movies that you did, baby doll, back in the day,
Oh,
you don't make no darn sense, okay? Like I said, and I'm a big fan of Kenya. Believe me, she disappointed me last night. She
hmm
disappointed me last night to the fullest. Yeah, Brittany was one. I can definitely say this right here. But both of them should have been fired.
mm,
Both of them should have been fired. Now, I don't
hmm
think production knew where it was going. But you see, like you see, and shit, like Cortez said, she didn't even not read the room, baby doll. And when she started showing that picture with her doing the all sexual behavior, girl, that everybody started leaving that place. That shit, I'm like, that's one thing I agree with Cortez about. She didn't read the room, baby. Ain't nobody for this moment. This is a beautiful moment for you. This is a once in a lifetime moment for you. You just open up this beautiful salon and you won this moment for this chick right here. Nah, baby, now you ain't blow that chick no dust. That chick was on your darn mind. She didn't blow you no darn dust last night. Cause she went and gave your flowers, baby. She walked out the goddamn door. She said, I'm not here for this. I'm not here for this. You don't want to talk. You don't want to hug me. And she was out the goddamn door. So she didn't pay you no dust. Okay, so you won that moment for you, and you said what you went lower than you
hmm
should have. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it like this: Miss USA need to come back and get that crown, cause Miss USA don't do no stuff like that.
Oh Lord, now love, oh Lord Jesus.
Yes, I am promoting Miss USA. Come back and get your crown
Oh
because
God.
you was out the chain with that mess. You went too far.
Oh,
And that's what I say with it. Okay.
okay.
So y'all have a good night. You have a beautiful day, Jody. It was nice meeting you. Hope I see you again. Chase, I hope I see you at the lean. I'll see you next
Yeah, you
Monday
must
night.
see me. Yes.
Love you, baby.
All
Mwah,
right, love
mwah,
you
mwah.
too. Thank you, lovable Lisa. Mwah, mwah. Oh God. Lisa say, take the crown, goddamn on it. Give me the next caller, please, production. Thank you so much. Oh wow. Now I ain't know we were taking the crown from the people. Hey there, Latasha. Is that Latasha?
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Hey Latasha, how are you?
How are you? I'm good.
I'm all right. What you got for me?
So this was a great season finale. I loved it.
Oh, here you go.
Um, so I don't think I care much about anybody else on this show. Um, I I understand why Kenya did it. I'm not mad at her for doing what she did. I just wish she would have did it at a different time because this was too soon. However, I blame Bravo for all of it because you put out these statements last year saying that, oh, we have no evidence, we didn't see it, and then you proceed to air over the last 4 weeks you're this little buildup of single black female, and then what was the outcome going to be? So I'm not mad at her for doing what she did. That should have been the end of both of them, in my opinion. If one goes, the other one definitely needed to go. I just don't, I wonder how much time had passed in between that dinner and then when she did that.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because it's if that was quick, she got all that information real quick. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to find a show on Bravo that I can actually like at this point, and I can't find anything. There's no
Oh,
show that I actually want to watch when it comes back or when all these are over. I got to find something else to do with my life because Bravo just every show they're just dropping the ball with these people, and It just doesn't make any sense. But I listen, I like Charles Oakley. I feel like he's just a guy who just doesn't he's very unserious when it comes to this reality TV stuff. And whatever they got going on with their family, he's over it. This doesn't seem like it's a new issue. Like this is something that's been going on. So she knows that he's over it and don't care, but still needing him to talk about it or try to get him to talk about it, and he's just not having it. Um, and with her daughter, them getting married, I'm trying to figure out 4 months. She said it was 4 months, right? She was married for 4 months, and then she
Yes,
had
she's been
found
married
out
for 4 months.
2 weeks, and then mother told her. I don't why is she going to her grandmother for a car if she got a whole husband or wife? I don't know who she got married to because I don't think they said it. But why are you going to your grandmother for a car when your mother is who she is? I don't know if no Charles is not her real father, but he is who he is. Why are you going to your grandmother for a car for anything? And you're living in a house that she bought for her mother. Like, what does she do? I don't, that doesn't make sense to me. Something about her daughter seems off. Um, and she keeps saying, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. No, it's not. Because the girl went and got married and you didn't know nothing about it for 4 months. That's not your best friend. I
Ooh.
don't understand that relationship, but whatever. I'm not going to find out because I'm not sticking around for this show.
Oh
But
Lord.
I find it's just it's not there's nothing consistent here. You're you're letting this girl go because of what she just did, and then you are hyping up bringing back. Now you have the two people who were involved in probably the biggest lie on this show, having to do with SA, and you promote this, but this was too far. Like, no, because that was a lie versus this being an actual truth, but this was too far for you. I don't buy it. I don't like Bravo at all. I don't understand these people. If they don't like her, then cool, just say that and fire the lady. You don't have to keep renewing her contract, but you did. And this was the straw here that was enough for you after everything else that she done, after everything else everybody else done. Eh, nah, I don't like it. It don't make sense to me. So,
All right.
I'm gonna still tune in. You guys are gonna let me know what's going on because
Okay.
I am
I
over the
appreciate
show,
that. Thank you.
over the whole thing. But you have a good night, and I am sorry about your aunt.
Thank
I
you,
hope your
Latasha. I
family's doing
appreciate it.
good and
Thank you.
everything, you know, is
Yeah,
okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you.
All right.
All right.
Have a
Have a
good
good
night.
night. Thank you. Go ahead and bring my last caller, Miss Finesse. Is Miss Finesse backstage? There we go. Hey, Miss Finesse.
Hi, Chase.
Hi.
So I was late to the live, but I definitely want to give you condolences for your loss.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
that hits really different, especially when it's your
Yeah.
aunt. So I can
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
So my whole little rant is going to be about Kenya.
Do your big one.
Um, I'm not really taking the side that everybody else is taking, only because, like you listed, pretty much all of her charges, and Kenya had an opportunity to pivot. She's had several opportunities to pivot. She's chosen to lean into this villain role. I don't understand that. Um, Kind of like another YouTuber mentioned, this could have been her auntie season. You know what I mean? Where she steps into that veteran housewife role. You know what I mean? And kind of ushers in the girls. Now, Brit's a weirdo. We're not going to leave that off the table. Brit is
Thank
an
you.
absolute weirdo. So we're not going to leave that off the table. What she said was absolutely disgusting. And the way that they tried to cover up for her, absolutely disgusting. Now, with her being a newer housewife, it's not really an excuse, but if you go down to the call center and say you're going to shoot somebody or you got pistols and stuff, they're going to escort you out and you're going to be minus a job. So I really think that both of them should have been fired. Um,
Yep.
but I feel like Kenya's response didn't really match what happened. I think that's kind of like where the disconnect is happening. And also doing it when you're $400,000 in the hole and your baby's college fund is on the line, that doesn't make sense to me at all. I just didn't really understand, like, they would have had a sleepover, a dinner, somewhere else she could have done this. I
Yeah.
just really feel like it took away from the classiness. Like we see our beauty salons as safe spaces as Black women. I don't want to go to someone who posts pictures of other women engaged in sexual acts. You know what I mean? I'm not going to trust you with my hair, even if you're not the one doing my hair. I just don't feel like you're going to be able to provide me a safe space, for all of the things to be done. Um, like I said in my comment when I posted, Truly Original or whoever the production company is has not seen it for Kenya since she got married off camera. She's had bad seasons ever since she did that. So, and like I said also as well, she just hilarious herself. Like there's really no other way to describe it. You know what I mean? She gave herself the rope to hang herself. They were looking for a reason. Now, baby, you got one. And now she's out the door. I feel like it's an unfortunate situation. And what if Brit Edie wasn't mentally strong and she unalived herself behind this? So the company
Mm,
has to think about that as well. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? So there
Absolutely.
are so many ways that this could have gone worse than it already did, besides of the bad look. But I mean, it's just an unfortunate situation all the way around. I wanted more for Kenya. I hope she doesn't go the way of Nene. With Nene struggling to find her footing all of those years she was on Housewives and she never made a pivot. You know what I mean? She never went into anything else. At least Garcelle has her production companies and all of the other things that she could turn to, after she made her exit. What is Kenya going to do? Because hair is oversaturated in Atlanta. So it's not like she broke into some groundbreaking field. So I hope that everything goes well for her in the hair space. But I mean, being where she's at, I'm not really sure. But Chase, again, condolences to you and your family. I love the show. I'm definitely always gonna hang around, but I don't think I'll be continuing to watch Housewives. It's starting to slide into baddies territory for me, and I'm just not really here for that.
All right. Well, Miss Finesse, thank you for your wishes, and I also have been seeing you a lot. So thank you so much for all of your support. I do greatly appreciate it. And thank you. This is your first
Always.
call in, right?
Yeah, this is my first. This is my very
Yeah.
first call in. I left my baby with my mom, so I
Oh, wait a
could,
minute now.
come
Wait a
talk to you
minute.
real quick. So I'm gonna go
Oh,
grab my baby,
go
but I
grab
love
that
the
baby now.
channel. Yeah, I'm gonna support the channel, but
Thank
I don't think
you.
I'll be continuing with Housewives.
All right. Well, I appreciate you so much. Go get that baby now. Don't put it on me because the people blame Trace for everything. Blame me. Yeah, go get it. Go
Good
get the baby.
night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you so much. Demisio, come on up here because everybody done took so damn long with their thoughts. Give it to me hot. Give it to me fresh. Give it to me quick, please. Because I took 45 minutes of calls. Please.
Baby, listen, I started to tell you, look, I'm finna clock out. No, I'm
I
joking.
took 45
But
hour worth of phone calls, child.
you did that, but hey, it is what it is. That's what the people want, child. So you just giving them what they want. But where do I even start with this cringe-worthy
Hurry
episode?
it up.
Okay, so Angela and her daughter was a lot. I definitely felt where Angela was coming from if they're supposed to be so-called best friends, and for her daughter to try to play the victim and put on the tears was very interesting to me. And Chase, was it just me, or did that scene with Kelly, not Kelly, but Nasal Edie and Porsha, did that scene feel like a callback scene to you?
There were parts of it that felt like it may have been a pickup scene, but I was trying to figure out because it didn't like Nasal E brushed her hair, so I don't know. Go ahead.
But yes, I felt like the scene
I was trying to
between
see if that
her
was
and
the same kind
Porsha.
of hair that she had at the hair spot. Go ahead.
Right. Yes. It just felt like that scene was like kind of like a callback scene to try to make, like y'all said, try to spin the narrative to make her look remorseful when we all know that she in fact was not. And the fact that the editors tried to make it seem like she read Kenya at the bank when that was not what happened. It was just crazy to me, and it just goes to show that, in my opinion, I felt like they are going this far with this because of what Kenya said on the Carlos King interview, because let's be absolutely clear. We have all seen much worse on Housewives. I mean, for God's sakes, they showed Danielle Staub sex tape on New Jersey. So please, like, Kenya just went so far. And to be honest with you, she didn't do enough, if you ask me. I'm more upset that Kenya did it at her event, and that has already been said, but I'm going to say it again. I'm upset that she did it at her event and didn't choose to do it somewhere else, because, like y'all said, it took away her moment, her shine, something that she has been working for the past couple of years on. And again, she's 400,000 in the hole for something that's supposed to be for her daughter and all of that. So it just was a bad look on Kenya, but I'm not mad at her for doing it, because I'm like you, Chase. If you threaten me with a gun, like you gonna shoot me or something like that, first of all, Kenya's been to me, because it would have been handled right then and there. It wouldn't have been no waiting. It wouldn't have been no getting to another event or anything like that. You threatened to shoot me, baby, we finna get it popping right then and there, because it's a line sometimes that you don't go over, and Brit definitely went over that line. But Kenya definitely should have read the room when she kicked Brittany to the curb, when she tried to give her that apology and the flowers. To be honest with you, I think she should have, and Britt left. I think Kenya shouldn't have even showed the posters at all, to me personally. I don't even think they should have showed. She should have even showed the posters once. She left because she wasn't even there. So it was just like, at that point, what was the point in even still bringing the posters out? So I don't know. I just hate that Kenya's exit happened the way it happened. And it's just unfortunate, because Kenya is an icon, whether you like Kenya more or not. She is a big part of Atlanta. So you got to give her that. And I just hate that. I hate that it ended that way. I really do.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
I'm tired of Drew and Porsha too. I'm just so over it, because it's ridiculous and it's stupid and it's dumb. Like, Drew, get over it. She's working with Dennis. It is what it is. Like, move on, girl. The money that already been spent for the studio time. Let it go. Tired of it.
All right. Well,
But
thank
Drew
you
do
so
be
much.
lying. Drew be lying. She do be lying too.
Thank you, Demetria. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Thank you. All right, you guys. On behalf of Cortez and uh, Jody, I want to thank you guys for rocking with us, y'all. Um, Yeah, we've been on for a long time, but we had a lot to discuss regarding the end game of it all. I want to thank our callers, Mel NYC, Lovable Lisa, Latasha Collins, Miss Finesse, and hopefully I didn't miss anyone. If I did, I do apologize. I have a short-term memory when it comes to that kind of thing, and so that's why I have somebody else up here to remind me. If I missed you, I do apologize. I want to thank uh Demisio for running, producing and getting the comments up and everything. Make sure that if you have not already, you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching us on X, go ahead and hit the follow button, you guys, so you can make sure that you're in tune with us. Tomorrow's our Married to Medicine finale review. We have a really good time on Married to Medicine, and so it'll be our last one for this season. And so tune in to that. And we'll see you soon from there. I want to thank everybody in the comments. But before I go, when it comes to, I saw somebody mention Cynthia. When it comes to Cynthia, what made Cynthia look crazy as hell was her going on that press tour saying that she didn't know what happened, and then she just watched the episode and now she knows what happened. And her and Kenya haven't spoken in a year, so it felt like she was saying she had made a rush decision and spoken out of turn to Kenya because she had not seen what happened, and now that she's seen what happened, um, whatever. But what I will say is, in the scene that we saw last night, I actually think that I didn't see anything wrong with what Cynthia did. And so I think, for me, what I think may have turned Kenya off is seeing the lady hanging out with her op, you know, one of her biggest ops of all time, just like hanging out, hanging out. I like Brit. I like Brit. I like Brit. You don't even know Brit. You don't know Brit. You don't know Brit. And then minimalizing. I think a lot of people are minimalizing what she did. I don't give a fuck whether or not she said it. she had a gun, whether or not she showed the gun. I don't know her from a can of paint. Ain't nobody gonna ever mention no gun around me and think we cool. So as far as I'm concerned, I thought it was just crazy that Cynthia would lead it like that when in the actual scene it doesn't look like she did anything wrong, whether she knew or not. That was the right thing to say to her. I also think that for Brit to think that she can mention guns and pistols, and you're gonna learn today, and this is real. This is real life. And I got my husband outside, and you're gonna learn today. We don't play those type of games over here. I got pistols and whips, and I got my husband outside. All that shit, and think somebody gonna be cool with you is no, no. And shame on everybody for trying to encourage her to do something. Sometimes you got to give people time to calm down. Again, I don't condone what Kenya Moore did. And as I said earlier, because of all the things that she's done in the past, whether I feel like she deserved to be let go for this one, you either pay on the front end, you pay on the back end, but you're going to pay. And you live by the sword, and sometimes you are unalived by the sword. With that being said, thank you guys so much, Miss Finesse, Gigi, everybody on Facebook, all the Facebook people, both Denise's, Jacarvi, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but all the people over on Facebook in the lounge, Art World, Love, 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 uh, Amanda K, who was always representing, Cadian, Crystal King, aka K, so many new people were in the group tonight. Thank you guys in the live lounge for supporting us. And if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and make sure you rate us 5 stars on podcast if you're listening at No Chaser TV, the podcast with Chase Brown. Leave us comments in the hard section so we can get in the algorithm, and tell me what you guys think and what was the appropriate course of action. Should Brit Edie have been let go and Kenya stay? Should Kenya have been let go and Brit Edie stay? Or should they both have been let go? Or should they both been able to stay? I really want to know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you tomorrow for Married to Medicine. Peace. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. I'm joking. I'm joking.